Andrew, and then over here is going to be Pia. It's a space exploration game that was loosely inspired by the Mars landing today. Or the choice was loosely inspired by the Mars landing today. So, the game was made a while ago. We posted on Instagram what people's celebratory board game should be for this, and of course, we're trying to bait people to say on Mars or terraforming Mars, but we only got one response for on Mars. We didn't get terraforming Mars, which leads me to believe people didn't read the comment section of it. So, but that's fine. We had Space Base in there too, which we love Space Base and haven't played on Mars, but would like to someday. Although I've heard it's very, very complicated. So that is, that was the thinking. So this is a 2-player cooperative game that has limited communication. So, Banoy, what up? New name. You gotta connect your Prime account. You get that symbol in front of your name now.
Hi, Manoy.
Yeah. Here. So, this is a space exploration game. And he and I are working together to survive a alien world. And the fun part of this game, one of the fun parts of this game, is it's written as if everything's like the faraway trading manual, as if you're like working for some giant evil corporation that's exploring the galaxy.
This is my favorite part. It's like it says like the Federation Alliance cares. You'll be fine. Is what the manual, which is like the training manual.
This is the new thing we can do.
Oh yeah, Andrew can try it out.
We do it. Watch this.
Oh, so close.
It's so close. Anyways, we've got our
The Federation Alliance cares. But at the bottom, the.
You'll be fine. Except that's the same color as red as the as the green screen, red screen that I was using. It's super funny. Everything is like an acronym and
a lot of like dark humor.
Like the board that holds all the cards is called the card board, and that's an acronym for something.
The Federation Alliance cares. Help us dominate the world. This world and other worlds.
Yeah, definitely.
But there,
tongue in cheek.
Were you saying that there's a proximity chat mechanism where when we're on the same space, we can talk, but when we're not in the same space, we cannot talk. So we'll just talk to the chat. Which, in the story I said, is like, that's the space madness, that you're losing it, so you hear voices. Mm-hmm. But the idea was that the evil corporation, the Federal Alliance, were too cheap to put radios in your spacesuits. So, like, there's no radios between the players.
Yeah, so we can communicate. So, we'll be able to talk loosely about non-game related stuff, but we can't talk about our strategy or moves we're going to make. We are doing kind of the easy mode where we'll describe our turns still, just because it's more fun to watch people describe their turns. So it's not just us moving pieces around and you guys have no idea what we're doing. But so we'll still be doing that, but generally speaking, we cannot communicate.
How have you guys been? Is your snow still there? Also, what did you have for dinner? We had leftover. He had leftover burrito, and I had leftover chicken teriyaki and fried rice.
My leftover burrito is all over the floor in front of me right now. About 25% of it, so it was a messy one.
Andrew's getting a phone call?
Yeah.
But his phone is.
Oh, you know what? It's my whole school.
Oh, it's his old university trying to get him
fundraise.
trying to get money.
Messed up my stream.
Oh, Boomuary, boom, February. Boom. Oh man, we haven't had burgers in a while.
Yeah, we should definitely.
Good knock on. All gone. I like I like the idea of when someone asks you what you had for dinner, you just say all gone. Like it's just like it's such a weird way to respond to like what did you have? It's
gone. It doesn't matter. It's gone.
Should we start, Andrew?
Yeah. I mean, we might as well kind of get rolling here. So the way we start is this is our crash site. Actually, let's
Switch scenes.
switch scenes. Let's get close.
Oh, Money Josh, one of the words that Andrew's been learning a lot since we've been streaming is kalat. Because whenever we're streaming or videotaping anything, I'm like, Andrew, we have to redo the shot. There's so much kalat in the background. So like that's one of I realized it was only something I cared about when we were frequently on screen. So I moved my chair over to cover the kalat.
So we start in a crash site here, and the game always starts with the crash site because they didn't put landing gear on the ship either. So
yeah, too cheap.
Too cheap to build landing gear. So we have to fix it on the planet, and then we have to explore each of these spots here. So I'm gonna roll this dice for each one. We want to point at one of the spots, and I'll roll a dice for it. So this means that there will be a plant growth or mineral vein.
Mineral vein. So right now we're like populating like what the planet is like.
Oh,
means there's a creature.
Wandering creature. All right, so we gotta roll a number die.
Got that? Yeah. Mess. Got that.
So we get to choose which spot to put this one in. So we have to go first or last. It is a herbivore, or it's omnivore, and
it burrows to preserve warmth. I do that under blankets.
Does 1 damage to buildings in a hex plus 1 under fight it. So it's particularly hard to kill. It lives in the desert. So it's gonna go somewhere in the desert. Do we want this thing to go first or last? It is.
What do you mean first or last?
In the order there, because we don't have because we rolled a star for the diversity. It is destructive to buildings, so
we don't want it near our crash site. That will break.
Generally speaking, it's passive.
It's passive. Oh, okay. Then I feel like it's fine.
It only attacks if attacked. Although it does eat meat. It's omnivore, so.
You should show Manoi what that creature looks like.
Yes. Let's use our thing set up here. Hopefully it still works.
Every stream, Manoi, we try like a different feature. We're like still learning the whoop.
Here it is.
Do you see this drawing?
Mattel Aprum. Burrows to preserve warmth. Preserves rocky areas. This is one of the coolest parts of the game. Most games, it would make these creatures have a ton of rules that you have to follow, and they'd be hard to parse. They would probably make it really, really clear what would happen, and then have like a bunch of text that tells you the story. This one, it gives you just these few symbols at the bottom that it's omnivore, that it likes a certain territory, a certain type of terrain, and then whether or not it's passive or whatnot. And then we decide collectively at the end of each turn what it does in the biome. And so there's more kind of role play or more like storytelling that we're doing, and the rules just say do what's the most interesting. And so generally do things that are bad for you as well. So
I thought you would like that because it's more narratively driven rather than reading a book
Bunch of
to find a
rules.
bunch of like numbers or like it must do this and this.
So can you find that
Yes.
guy? You're gonna roll for this
Oh,
one.
it's like a lobster.
Yeah.
I did not looking for.
Oh.
Lobster.
This is a crowded area, so we just got a den. So a den means that it's like an animal's home. So also look for the Cibus divorum.
There's no need words on these. So
Yeah, I'll show you the picture here. It's up on the screen. This guy,
Okay.
he's unique digestive tract processes fuel. Wallows in fuel deposits to maintain an oily coast. So this guy's going to be eating all the fuel in that.
Oily.
And that yellow X means he is defensive. So he only attacks to come into his territory, and he eats things that are already available. He's trying to hurt us unless we're trying to hurt him. And he prefers wherever the oil gets spawned, right?
Yeah, the
Fuel, the desert.
it kind of looks like a Cthulhu type of.
It does.
Trying to remember that as I look.
Yeah, the illustrations are cool. They're a fun. This was a Kickstarter, although we didn't get it on Kickstarter. We just ordered it. But
the company's from Seattle.
yeah, it's a Seattle-based company, and
Andrew got it from a local board game store, so it makes sense that it was Cibus Devourandum.
so the animals the creatures are going into this board here, where we are going to keep track of them, and there's only a total of 8 that can appear. So now we've got one of these, and we got one of these. The other thing about them is, actually, here, let's zoom in because this is fun. So,
Do you want to use the picture, or do you want to?
so this 3 means that that's the size of the animal, and so humans are size 2, and then 3 is like probably like a cow, and then a 4 is bigger than that, and then of course a 1 is like a small rat or a cat or a dog or something like that. Moy's here, our first and true donor, the Moy,
The
the first subscriber,
in
the true first. Yeah, Derek, this is a cooperative, 2-player only cooperative space exploration game with kind of like a fun, tongue-in-cheek, corporate overlord theme to it. And P and I are going to these planets. We have a mission. I'll read out the mission in a minute.
But so this is the it's the game, like, what is it called? The game manual, but it's called a training manual, and we work for the Federal Alliance, and they care. They say you'll be fine.
But they didn't send us with landing gear or a radio.
Yeah, they're too cheap to give us radios, landing gear, or any first aid, so we can't heal ourselves if we get hurt. The OG says
Yeah,
Romeo.
this might be a good one for you and Liz, possibly. The theme's really cool. The main conceit, or the big twist for this one, is that P and I cannot strategize if we are on different hexes. So if say she's here and I'm here, we cannot discuss what we want to do in the game until we get onto the same hexes. And then each of our player boards have, watch this is cool.
Andrew's showing off all the new features that he's been
Look at
trying.
that. So we have loneliness and hunger. And if we're apart from each other, we get lonely. If we get too lonely, we die.
And if we fight things, we get hungry. Yes.
253 pickers with the fresh face. Yes. Yeah.
Andrew did it for a skit.
Oh, yeah, I did it for a skit the other day. for our friend
For
Aaron.
Rage's baby shower.
Yeah.
He recorded a whole skit, and it involved him being a different person. So he had a goatee. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, goatee for the little skit that I did.
Which I don't know. Most baby showers that I've been to do not require some sort of dramatic.
I was not the only one who did that. I was not the only one who did that. So nothing wrong with it. Commitment to the craft. Yeah, it was fun. It was the fourth McConkey brother, Darren McCronkey. He's the evil one.
But so you get different missions in the game. So the first game we played, you had to set up these like 3 towers and like evade the like creatures. And some of the creatures are like omnivores. Some of them are like carnivorous or whatever, and they'll attack you. And some of them are very like they'll fight if attacked, but they're passive. So
yeah. And yeah, so we can't communicate. And then the last piece is they don't have like a ton of rules, like really strict rules about the behavior of the animals, but they give you some basic ideas about the behavior of the animals, and we have to decide what the most interesting way for them to behave are. And so, for example, the animals we have right now, one burrows to preserve warmth and prefers rocky areas and damaged buildings, and travels in small packs. So you kind of get some like basic information about what they eat, and then we have to decide what of the 5 actions or so to choose from that they can do. We can also tame the animals.
I'm also nervous because I'm afraid I'm gonna forget the plan. Like I feel like we'll make a plan and then we'll split up, and then I'm not gonna remember.
Yeah, there's no time limit though, so we can talk as long as we want. It's not real time, so that's.
All right, let's go.
We're finished. We have to explore all the hexes
Sorry.
from our starting spot. So there. That guy. Ooh, it's just resource. More of those.
Stray minerals.
And the desert.
Ooh, desert
fuel
is.
deposit.
Ooh, that's where there's one animal that eats fuel or like oil or
Oh
whatever.
shoot! Yeah, that's gonna. Which one is that? That's this guy.
No, this guy
Oh yeah.
consumes fuel.
Yeah, he's just gonna go over there and munch on food probably. Oh, and a forest one.
Oh, that's great.
Wow, this is a great setup. So these cards we're putting out like are places where the resources regenerate. So.
Manoi, we cannot use hand motions. It says so in the book. No gestures.
Yeah, no gestures or anything. We can't be like. Not allowed. No communication at all. And we were debating whether or not we should silently play the game for the stream, or if we should at least narrate our actions.
Well, I was telling.
We'll catch her. We're gonna mess up a few times, so just be ready for that.
Moyers, I was thinking about how it kind of reminds me of Sam's like no eye contact rule, and I was like, why are we willingly like not talking when we like don't need to? Andrew's like, it's in the rule book. Yeah. We are not supposed to communicate in any way, gesturally or verbally.
Yeah, they. I'm sure they play tested it, and people were doing that, and figured it out.
Write
that in the rulebook.
It reminds me, and I might repeat the story repeatedly. I don't know.
That's okay.
But of the game that Andrew and I played, where I had a secret rule where I wasn't allowed to talk to him, and then Andrew thought I didn't like the game, and he actually almost rage quit. Where he started putting away the game, and he's like, "Well, Pia, if you don't want to play the game, then we don't have to play the game." And he was like putting it away.
She was silent, and she stayed silent through that whole thing.
Because we would.
She was commitment. That
I would lose the game.
The rule. Yeah.
If
you spoke. Yeah, that was Mansions of Madness, which is a great game.
Oh yeah, because I went like insane. The story was, and then I just didn't speak.
Yeah, you get like an insane condition, and so hers was she couldn't talk anymore, which is it's not a game that you would think would do something like that. So,
all right, here's
so
the mission.
We're doing mission number 1.
We're doing mission number 1. We're drinking Starburst IPA because it's spacey.
Mm-hmm. Inspired by the Hoppy Meeple on Instagram, who always pairs a beer with his with his board games. He didn't actually suggest this pairing, but we love the concept, and he's oftentimes in chat, so we always like to give him a shout out. All right, mission number 1: Federation Alliance expands throughout the known universe by pushing the boundaries of what is known. Thanks to deep space telemetry, we can safely discover new habitable worlds. However, the galactic law requires us to establish a physical presence on a planet before claiming ownership. You and your partner are traveling to a recently analyzed world. There, you must establish a frontier outpost from which we can safely and legally expand. This outpost consists of a landing pad and several buildings which form a self-sustaining facility, able to remain intact until future missions. We also need you to return home after building the facility. Without eyewitness testimony, it is challenging to prove first contact. Follow the mission transmission and construct the base facilities in the standard order. While your priority is to build the outpost, you are encouraged to make the most of the trip through various contingencies. The Federation is constant need of resources, research data, and willing explorers. Anything helping these goals will be remembered and compensated at a fair market price. So we've added our mission board over here. The cards required for this one as well, and we have one building that we can build off the bat, which is the landing pad. Although we've crash landed as usual, and the landing pad requires 2. Is that blues?
The
You'll
landing
have to help me with
pad.
the colors.
I don't see. Oh yeah, 2 blues, 2 bioplastics. One thing I just want to read it before Money Josh you go to bed, because I think you would think this is really funny. But under creature behavior, they say like part of the explorer's job is to document the movements of the alien species. Your documentation is the only evidence of their actions. However, you are not moving these creatures; they are moving themselves, like they did before you arrived. And it kind of reminded me of the idea of like when colonizers come and they're like, we discovered a place. You're like, no, they've always been there. You're just saying that you found it. It's like the same way where it's like the narrative of it is like we're creating the creature movements, but really they were moving that way. So that actually came first. So do you want to? Should we plan? Because we need to get to bioplastics. That's our first thing.
Yeah. Okay. So we probably should make a plan. So we've got fuel. Fuel is important for movement. We got to probably explore a little bit because we can get food. And then this guy eats things that are on the board, specifically fuel. I bet he's gonna move towards the fuel deposit. Would be my guess. To try to eat.
If we generate the fuel and put it in our bags, it won't like attack us, right?
Okay. No. Consume fuel in X. Immediately move to the nearest X fuel cube. Oh, it just pops up wherever there is fuel. So he'll probably pop up the fuel deposit. And then does he have anything else? He destroys buildings, so he could, I think, potentially destroy the fuel deposit. Buildings. So we might need to. Maybe we should grab some fuel before he does that.
That's what I was thinking.
And then this guy tries to stay warm, eats plants and meat.
I like this animal. Its first piece of information is it buries to preserve warmth.
The problem with this one is there's no plants in this part of the world, so he would be trying to eat us, or he'd be trying to eat this guy. So my plan is to go that way north, and try to explore past the fuel deposits, because this guy's probably going to be coming after whatever's closest, which is going to probably be him.
So then what if you go that direction and I go this direction, because I can get a plant, you can get a fuel and pick it up, and then what about that?
Yeah. Perfect.
And then one of the things is that in the rule book it said like we have 3 actions, and there's also free actions like picking up, trading, and dropping. And in the rule book it said like the picking up objects is what's the term? is a free action because it was negotiated by your union. You go first.
All right, so I'm gonna move here.
And then
And now we can't talk about our strategy.
but we can talk to you, which I've in my brain in my the story I'm telling myself is that the chat is the voices in our head, the space madness.
Could you pass me a fuel?
What fuel is this?
One thing is this game is not super colorblind friendly because I have a really hard time with these cubes.
And then I'm putting that in my cup.
And my third action is to explore. What do we got here? It's a forest. And
Wait, that was your second action.
that was my third. My second action was to use the fuel deposit.
Oh, using is different than picking up.
Yeah. It's an anomaly. They said don't explore on this action, right?
Oh no.
I've discovered an animal den.
No.
It eats plants and animals.
Show the chat. Show the chat.
Oh yeah. If you want to grab it, it looks like.
Oh yeah.
There we go. This guy, fearless yet reserved. Ursus prefers to forage alone, but
Wait.
group.
Scoot it over so that they can see its face. There you go.
But group into a pack when the den is threatened. The den might be threatened because I just walked on it. This is.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought we were starting off to a really great start, and then here we are. It's defensive. Yeah, that's its main trait. So,
Great. There was a thing in the rulebook that said former survivors recommend you do not explore on the third action because you could spawn something.
What just happened?
You know, Andrew's trying to be a hero. I don't know any of this.
Technically, you don't. And
Oh yeah, is it?
actually,
Oh, it does,
I'm
it does.
realizing that den action was supposed to be the first one, and this one's the third.
Oh, there it is. Oh, it's so kind of cute.
It is kind of.
It's
That's what I
rounded
thought.
little knuckles.
Well, we might have to reset this after a turn because I might be taking damage here. So
Okay. Okay, rules question. Can I just keep grabbing, like using? Okay, I'm gonna use a. Where's that one?
okay, so we're out of the actions. We don't have any drones. The creatures do their thing. So we're gonna start with this guy. His special action is to tunnel, and so he's gonna do that. And it's going to consume fuel in the hex. Immediately move to the nearest hex fuel cube or a landmark. Let's make sure.
While Andrew looks at the rules, you can
I
also
think
domesticate
he's
animals.
going to destroy it because that seems like what you do. Just slurp all of the
Slurp the oil. All the oil deposit is gone.
Just yeah, you can. Doesn't go anywhere. Just set it off this way. Yeah. And then the next one, the Ursa Stella. So this one's fearless yet reserved. Prefer to forge alone, but group in packs when the den is threatened. This one, I am on its den. It eats meat, and so he's going to attack me.
Ursa Stella hits Andrew. We have no.
By the way,
first
we
aid.
have two health and no first aid. So I got PTSD from that. I gain 1 loneliness from a creature's fight action, in addition to the effect of the fight die. So
Ooh, Los Lonely Boy. Too lonely.
Yeah,
Too
two
lonelies.
lonelies. This is bad.
We're
Alright.
gonna die.
Yeah.
We have such a good like resource. Like we spawned in such a good resource.
Yeah, it was
area,
that.
too.
I don't know
Resource
why. I
rich.
felt like I needed to explore. And then I
Um,
realized immediately why I shouldn't have.
And then the next one, the apple.
Yeah, we just keep going. And this guy burrows to preserve warmth, prefers rocky areas, it can destroy buildings, electrical systems of the Federation buildings. So it probably does 1 damage to the. Because the near it can move and it can
Near the
hurt
crash
the
site?
crash site. So it's going to hurt the crash site. There is a whole
Yeah.
packet of damage.
This is really bad. The crash site that we have to fix are like has only 4 damage.
We breezed through the first mission. And,
We got cocky.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so then at the end of the round, do we do our like loneliness checks and hunger and all?
We do 2 spawn die. So.
A den.
A den. Okay, and then roll one of these.
A den in
So one of these guys spawns.
and then do I oh wait.
And then we each gain
Gain a
100
hunger
and
and-
1. I'm very lonely. Not that I'm PTSD.
You're like I didn't
Also, we're not very well equipped to fight these anything really. All right, so
mission check. We have not accomplished anything. So then start again.
So we can't talk about what I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna do something. We find something good. Oh, another anomaly. Hope it's a ruin.
Anomalies
It's
are
a
good
ruin.
or bad?
Yeah. You can destroy these for resource cubes. Cubes.
Okay, my turn. Explore. Here. And I'm gonna roll the spring. Oh yes. Is that? It's a bioplastic bog. And then is it all 1 turn, Andrew, to move here?
So you moved there, yeah. So, that was your
1 turn. Okay.
my turn.
The this is very cute, but the moment Andrew goes into my space, he is healed of all loneliness.
And that's what I'm doing.
And now we can talk.
And we can talk.
Why did you go to the den? Why did you unlock the den?
It was an oversight.
In the manual, it says all injuries are because of like employee failure is what it like. There's it says like the Federal Alliance claims no responsibility and liability for injuries and death.
So the positive thing is that
We can heal our loneliness immediately.
yeah, that we get to heal our loneliness, and you're set up to build the thing, right?
No, I have a bunch of food, so I can. Oh, I'll give you a food to heal eventually.
And then what was this? Was fuel, right? So I
That's
can just
fuel.
pop up anywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
We have to both.
I
grab-
could have left that spot because as a free action, you can consume something.
Ooh.
Well, live.
Yeah.
And learn. This is part of the communication things. You can't remind each other.
This is the first
Yeah.
expedition, so.
It is. Save myself.
So
So when
if
we
you-
build it, you should build it on the runes because that gives it 2 extra health. Whatever you build.
Okay. Well, I guess yeah. So for my turn, I'm gonna use the bioplastic bog to get some bioplastic. Technically, I don't know what your plan is. So that was my second turn.
Actually, I'm gonna save it.
Yeah.
Right.
Because one plant meets all your hunger requirements.
Um, so this, trying to think how these animals are going to work here. These guys want to travel together. So he's probably going to go over there with that one.
And the animals can fight each other too. So
Yeah.
we're not the only things on the food chain.
Like if we dropped fuel over here, these guys would go in there, and then these guys are defensive, so they would then probably attack,
Fight each other.
fight each other. So, um, the problem is this guy is just doing damage to our fraction.
Yeah.
He needs to eat though, so eating is priority, and there is
Something to eat nearby.
something. Yeah, the two, they're equal strength, and he's passive, so he's probably. So maybe we'll just find more stuff. Yeah, I'll can I get a plastic? This area. Do that.
And then do you want to just want to trade with me so I can build in the next turn?
Oh yeah.
Well, actually,
That's a
I
free
don't
action.
get to build in the next turn. Because my turn will be moving towards the ruins. Should I move towards the ruins, or should we just keep grabbing more
I'll give
bioplastic?
you the fuel.
There's no room in there. My pack is very small.
Oh, we could trade. What's?
It's food. I have food, and then the bioplastic
I'll
to
trade you
build.
food for fuel.
So I won't have any food. Okay. Where do we have to build this?
I'll give you
We just build it in the ruins,
just
right?
anywhere. Yeah, build a landing pad. So that way you can spend the fuel pop up in the ruins because it's gonna just give it more health, and then
Why do I have to use the fuel when I could just walk over to the ruins?
because fuel doesn't take an action,
Oh, and we can build it right
you
now.
can build it this turn. Yeah.
See, this is my problem. I like to hoard resources.
You only have 3 spots.
Okay,
So you'll get your food back.
so I'm gonna consume the fuel. Pop up here. Apparently, just chugging oil or whatever it is gets you. You can move in this place. I pop up here, and then for my third action, I'm going to build this landing pad. This.
Nice.
So it's +2, which is good.
And passive protects resource cubes on hexes from creatures. Protects resource cubes on hex. Oh, so if we drop cubes here, creatures won't come get them.
Ooh, it's like a big refrigerator. So should I flip this over?
Yep.
Okay.
Tell us what they
Incoming
do.
transmission. Congratulations for establishing a basic landing site for future operations. We trust you will preserve the site until you need to return home, as contingency plans are expensive. Please continue operations by constructing one of the standard federal building facilities. So the next mission we have is build a xenobiology lab or computing core. So computing cores make drones. So there's drones in this game, and you can do a xenobiology lab, and you can do animal
We could tame the animal.
animal handling skills. That's a Civ reference.
So there. Oh wait, we can't talk about this. Trying to strategize.
Oh, it's the end of my turn though.
Yeah, it's the end of both of our turns. Going to the animals. Creatures. They move and do an action. So let's start with these guys. That they like the fuel, so we'll start with this one. We're just gonna go team up because they travel in packs. And they only eat things that are on the board. Is what that's dead things. And there is no food for them right now. Not sure where they would go. They are.
What type of animal are they?
They're defensive. And so if someone comes into their den or approaches them, then they will. Actually, so if they're defensive, they'll probably just go back to their den, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then otherwise they're on the prowl for fuel. That's the main thing.
And there's no fuel.
There's no fuel right now. Okay, so these guys, they're fearless yet reserved. They prefer to forage alone, but they'll get up in groups. They defend their home. Oh, here's the deal. They will eat plants or animals. So they're omnivores. They have a range of 2.
Are they gonna attack me?
Oh, you know what? They're probably going to go to the forest and eat some plants. You're in a building right now, so I would say they would not. But I don't know. What do you think? They could attack you. It's a decision.
They're fearless yet reserved. Prefer to forage. Yeah, forage alone. It seems like if there's a plant option, they'll go there. But I'm arguing
They say
for them to not
when they're
attack.
omnivores, generally you want to alternate between meat and they want to balance how much they eat. So
Okay.
you're not an easy target because you're in a building right now, and they can't do damage to buildings. So, and then finally, this guy, he's gonna just do another damage to the crash site.
Nice. Okay. This is not good. I don't know how to get them away. Sorry, this is table talk. And oops, that's not the right one.
And then we roll. You roll those 2 dice that you rolled last time for spawning. Ah.
Oh
All right.
no.
Roll this. Probably gonna get some new ones here. So new creature.
Be a
Damina solis. It is a carnivore.
no.
Size 4. So
Oh,
elephant
big
size.
boy.
Compulsive need to assert dominance. Does not pursue fleeing creatures. And they're lonely. So I'll put this on here if you want to go look for this
Yes.
guy's stuff.
Oh no, this is very bad. Well, it's gonna stay in its area. Well, actually,
So
I'm not supposed to be talking.
Here is a guy that just spawned on the map. And we do decide where he has to go next to one of us. So he doesn't have a preferred environment, basically, too. So
Some of these also look like Pokemon. You're not as familiar, Andrew. But they definitely there's a Mewtwo looking one. There's a Nidoran looking one. That's tusks, right? Is this it?
Yep. It's the one starting. Go back. There. And then we have another one spawn. So where do we want this guy to go? He has to be within 1 space of us. So I'm gonna let's say Plant Grove. He's gonna fight these other guys.
Okay.
They're fighting for territory. And 4. One more. Humanus Herbal
Ooh,
Certa.
it looks like
It's another giant one. Oh my gosh. Last time we got all level size 1 creatures. This time we're getting the big ones. We can't do anything to do these things. It's kind of like a rhino or a hippo.
It looks like a hippo to me with a platypus bill. Oh, it looks like a warthog.
Gentle tree eater and can be startled or scared into brief, violent rampage.
Whoa.
Trampling both structures and smaller creatures.
Well, there it is.
And it's an herbivore, so at least it will, it can destroy our buildings, but we'll see.
Mhm.
So we don't have a lot of choice here because is that green?
Yeah.
So it prefers forest. We've already placed.
Something over. There's dens in every forest.
Yeah, there's a den in that forest, and then There's seems like the watering hole here. So they have to be within one spaces.
Oh my gosh.
It's more interesting than anyways.
Let's build away from
Yeah,
them.
let's get away from this.
But the thing is,
we're
we have
like
to-
in a game trail. I just walked through a game trail. All right, so that is the animals, and we both get 1 hunger and a loneliness together. And review cards. So we need to build a xenobiology lab or a computer board. We can't talk about that though. So. I keep almost talking about it. My
It's
first
your
action
turn.
is I'm gonna get a plastic.
I'm gonna explore upright but to the right.
To the right?
Yeah.
Which one is?
Yeah. Trees.
And you've got to roll this one.
Ugh. Oh, weird.
Forest. It's giant forest over here. And you're in that space.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Also move away from this giant herd of animals. Some desert. Interesting.
This. Ooh.
We'll deposit. Uh-oh. Although these guys are only really interested in the field, they're not going to attack us because they're passive. Oh no, they're defensive though. They're defensive of. Okay.
I'm gonna. Oh, that was my first turn. Is that I'm gonna pick up for free, and then I'm gonna explore here.
Forest.
Forest.
Running off the table, running away from.
Oh. And not only planet gate use move to any hex. Cool. It's like a dimensional gate. So the planet gate or the anomalies can be ruins from the like previous alien civilization that was there.
We can talk. Our loneliness is gone.
Oh yeah, not lonely anymore.
I'm building the xenobiology lab here.
That would make sense. So you can build something. You can build stuff on other, like on ruins or on anomalies.
I think so. Yeah.
So I was just trying to build, explore while still staying close to you. So,
yeah.
building and exploring with you in eyesight. I guess. Maybe we should discuss it after we do the spawning, right? We're doing all the feature stuff, and then we can talk about what we're gonna do.
Yeah. Still have one more action.
Oh, I do?
Or you have 2 more actions. All you've done is move one space.
I thought I moved, explored, or the explored action, and then explored again.
Is that this turn?
Yeah, I did the.
I started, and
Because remember,
I did 2 actions.
I grabbed the resource. Oh, so then I guess.
Or maybe that was my last thing. All right. I guess it was both of our last actions.
That's what I thought.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, so creatures. Let's do it. So starting with these oil suckers, they're gonna burrow. brief.
They can
moment.
travel that far?
Yeah, that's their thing. Tunnel. Consume fuel in hex. Immediately move to the nearest hex with fuel cubes or. Oh, you start by consuming whatever fuel is in your space, and then they move to location that has the fuel, and they will consume it at the end of this turn. So technically, consume at the end of the turn. So we could go get some, but they're defensive, so we'd have to fight them.
Yeah, there wasn't any time to grab something and then go.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
Next, we've got these guys, the fearless defensive guys. So the den's not threatened and eat both. So the closest plant food is here at the plant grove, right? So he's gonna move there because they're fearless, but he's also defensive and
They're not What does? Oh, is this symbol defensive?
Yeah.
I was gonna say they're not defensive. They're reserved. Okay.
So he's gonna eat probably
Chomp chomp.
plant cube here. Because those two creatures are bigger than him, even though he's fearless, I don't see him attack them.
Ursa Stella, what are you doing?
Um,
It's so cute. I want it to. It's so much cuter than the other. It's okay.
yeah. This guy has not
Giant
eaten.
lobster.
And there is at least one guy the same size as him, so I'm gonna say he's gonna attack this thing. So go with this guy. Does that make sense? It's gonna move. Then-
Can he try to take on something that's bigger than him? Those are 4s.
He's an
a level 3.
omnivore, so he can eat the plant.
I was just
Probably.
surprised that they would try to do that.
Eat a
But
plant.
okay,
Why?
nothing.
Why
It's
is that
just
surprising?
because the other ones are bigger than them.
No, he's the same size as this guy, and he's eating plants. He's an omnivore.
Oh, you're talking about that guy. Sorry, I thought you were talking about those 4s. Those big boys.
No, yeah, but he's eating plants because he's omnivore. Does that not make sense?
Just as. I thought you were putting him
He-
there to eat the bad.
Well, he goes towards heat, right? So there's a lot of animals there. That's heat.
Okay.
And they move and then they do their action. So that's a move. They usually not just stay in the same spot. I don't know. If you don't think it makes sense.
I just don't think that this is a smart animal because these other guys are gonna get him. This Dominus Solus is gonna kill him.
We can do something else. You can just attack the crash onion.
No, he hasn't eaten. He just keeps
Yeah, that's what I'm
running
saying.
into
If
that.
He's gone 2 turns without eating. They
Yeah, that's true.
definitely
He-
prioritize food.
He was in the crash site, like cutting up all the wires with his little lobster claws.
Yeah, just
Okay.
eating worm. And although he does prefer rocky areas, so and there's no food here, so we would have to venture out to get there. They're generally passive, so they're not trying to fight. This guy, carnivore, big guy, he is going to eat.
Bye, Money Josh.
Bye, thanks for joining us. He's gonna eat, and he's a loner, so he's gonna probably try to eat the soft level. This guy.
The little the Ursa Stella.
So he's gonna do damage to that. Grab damage.
Damage or
Yeah.
so it doesn't become meat yet.
Spike. Unless we have that one wrong. Oops.
Put behind me.
It's true. We did that.
It's on you.
So the creature actions: fight, deal 1 damage to 1 creature, or roll the fight die against explorer. Yep, there we go. And then this guy tries to assert his dominance. Oh no, that was this one. This guy, I think, would go after the other four. He's the biggest threat to his dominance. And then this guy is just going to eat some plants.
Gentle tree eater.
A bunch of plant eaters, and then this guy trying to assert his dominance here.
Read the
Read the
room. Read the room, Domina Solis.
Alright, 2 spawn dice. You want to roll the 2 spawn there.
I've been rolling lots. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we were rolling blanks last time. And then roll this.
Which is why I think I want to do the xenobiology lab.
Mm-hmm. So which one do you want to have another one spawn? Oh, from the bottom row.
I think I want this one. It's gentle. It tramples though.
Oh.
No, let's do the Dominus Solus because maybe it will kill other animals for us. It does not pursue fleeing creatures, so.
They do seem quite dangerous.
No. Let's not do that then.
No,
I'm
no,
scared. No. Well, no. Don't say that. I take it back. Because here's the thing. They are. They don't eat each other. There's nothing higher on the food chain. So I definitely want this one instead. Oh, so scary. This warthog.
He's probably gonna be in.
I mean, it's not great. He's gonna trample structures too.
Yeah. And oh, that guy got attacked last time, right? He did. He probably would have moved and done damage to this instead of eating. Big passive. Makes more sense. He was attacked.
Not
That's what he
good.
does.
We need to...
And then yeah, that's all of them. Oh wait, roll one more.
This is a very fertile planet.
Yeah, there's a lot more species on this one. Okay, which one do you want?
I already picked last.
Yeah, I think another one of these. This makes sense. Oh, so these guys are loners, they say. So they get territorial against each other. They don't want to be near each other. So these guys will probably run away from each other here. It is now our turn.
Oh, we have to
Oh, we have
get
to take our
loneliness.
loneliness. It's a much harder scenario. Alright, I'm going to start by building food.
Can you wait? Hold on. Can you do the xenobiology lab without all the stuff?
It's 2 foods and
Do you have that? Oh yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to tame. I want to ride the Ursastellas. You can ride them. Actually, no, you can ride 4s and higher.
So we now have unlocked xenobiology gear.
Yeah.
And outpost mission 1.2 incoming transmission. Your crew has done excellent work following Federation Alliance protocol. Additional instructions pertaining to your base facilities will be issued while optional. Please consider completing these contingencies before next cycle's performance review. Do not neglect finishing outpost base. Without infrastructure, this facility will never be usable to the future teams. Okay, unlock power grid controller, analytics lab, and perimeter shields. So the locked. So we had these buildings that we couldn't. Power grid controller, analytics lab, and perimeter shield. Pretty sweet. So these are things we can build if we'd like.
This really sucks because we have a lot of animals that attack structures, and the mission is very structure building. focused.
How do we get artifact?
How do we get- I don't know. Does it require an artifact?
There's one that's use, recover any used artifact. Each artifact card will They're like one-time use cards.
Wonder if I want to go through that on one deck. That's the only way.
So these are all. Oh, the outpost. So the next mission goal is to build all three of those things.
Yikes. Okay.
And
Wait,
we
can I look
built
at what they
the.
require?
We actually opened both of these here.
Oh,
So
cool.
we built the landing pad. So alert, the landing pad is compromised. Sensors detect additional life forms underneath the foundation. Probable genetic relations between the new creature. Oh, okay. Does anyone? Yep. Okay. Sorry, they have a condition here. So some creature reached the landing pad. So this is what happens. And this just happened, so. Herbs Gambit, what up? How's it going?
Hey, Herbs
Welcome to the
Gambit.
stream. We're playing Far Away, co-op game. I'll kind of do the pull-up view here so you can see the whole table. But survival game where it's only 2 players, and it has communication restrictions. So Pia and I cannot speak if we are on separate hexes on the map over here. And actually, you can't. I'm going to pull the map down.
We've been running away from scary
Animals.
creatures, so we've been building this way very frantically to get away. But yeah, so we can't. It's like a kind of a proximity chat mechanism. So we have to make our plans and then we disperse and can't talk.
Whoa! Board Game Blitz is raiding us with a party of 27.
Wow!
Oh my gosh, the raid is happening! 27 people!
Thank you for raiding Board Game Blitz.
Thank you, Board Game Blitz. So this is our raid idol.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Legends of the Hidden Temple, and he comes out and he thanks everyone for the raid, and lets you guys know that he loves it. We appreciate your raid. Thank you.
Hello.
Oh my gosh, and the host, Board Game Blitz. Thank you so much.
It's coming at a great time because we are not doing
We're
well.
in dire straits here. So, just to introduce yourselves, we're Board Game Spam. I'm Andrew.
I'm Pia.
And we stream every Monday and Thursday nights. And we have a new little baby, so we have to work around that schedule. Every once in a while, we get to do a fun bonus stream like we did yesterday. And we play a lot of kind of highly thematic Euro games, although this is more in the thematic cooperative game. It's a little indie game called Far Away, and the whole conceit is we are exploring a planet, and it is we're trying to complete objectives on a kind of mission board over here. I'll kind of get a close up here.
It's boldly go where no one has returned from yet. But it has like really great flavor text, really tongue-in-cheek, kind of some dark comedy.
We got a new follow, Kumi. So we do analog alerts here.
Because we like Ruel style and we don't have that great of tech skills.
Yeah, we're just figuring some of this stuff out, but we love the analog things. So Dr. Alan Grant comes out and he says, "Thank you for following. Really appreciate that." And then he goes back and continues excavating his dinosaur bones right here. Appreciate that, Kumi. So this is a cooperative game. The big twist on this one is that we cannot speak about. Technically, we can't speak if we're not on the same hex, but we're playing easy mode where we can't speak about our strategy. We thought it would be very entertaining if we just were silently playing on stream. So we'll talk, of course, to the chat and whatnot, but we can't talk about our strategy as long as we're on different hexes. Currently, we are on the same hex, and we just suffered a lot of disasters.
But
you might be watching us lose soon enough, but it's very fun.
The stories that we work for the Federation Alliance, and they are super cheap, and they don't send you with any radios, so that's why we can't speak. They don't send you with any crash or like with any landing gear, so you crash and you have to fix your ship before you can leave to win the scenario. and then they also don't send you with any first aid. So we can only get damaged one time, and then the second damage we take, we die. So it sounds really brutal. And the first time we played it, it wasn't that bad, but we have spawned a lot of creatures, and there's a really fun ecosystem that works with it. It's a bit of role play, but if anything, it just kind of gives you some loose rules. So we were actually talking about how some people might like um, having that loose narrative, and it gives you some kind of framework for how the monsters or the creatures fight. But some people might not like the freedom. We like it because we don't get really bogged down by rules. But yeah, we're currently on the same hex right now, so we were just talking about what we're gonna do.
Yeah, and I got a few things in chat here. We got the Moy, Pop, watching the raid.
And eating popcorn.
And we got Cool Raid Idol, and Kumi says this game looks interesting. Herbs Gambit was saying the gameplay sounds super interesting. Yeah, the really interesting thing I think about it is that the animal behavior isn't super, like you were saying, not a super strict rule set, and we kind of have to make decisions. Generally speaking, the rule says do what is worst for you and most interesting for the story, and then they kind of give you a description. So like one of these guys is asserts his dominance, and so he's a big creature that asserts his dominance. So he's kind of in this area where the food is, and just attacking the other creatures. And then there's another creature over here that stampedes when it is attacked or threatened, and so he's stampeded into our landing pad over here
that we just built, and he's destroying it now.
And so like the narrative kind of builds itself, and it's a fun way to introduce kind of more organic narrative instead of the traditional like flavor text, which I think is maybe a little bit more limiting, but is more clear as to what's going to happen each time. So
and I think the fact that they do the proximity chat thing where you can only talk on the same space kind of limits like quarterbacking, is that the term? Or like alpha gaming or whatever, which makes me a little nervous because I'm like, I'm not on the same tile as Andrew. Like, what am I going to do? I got to strategize on my own. But if anything, I think that's good for me because sometimes in co-op games, I don't know about you guys, but in co-op games, because everyone's thinking so much faster or just more excited to strategize, I just kind of sit there and drink my drinks and eat my snacks, and then I'll be like, okay, I'll do what you suggest. So I got to make my own plans.
We got another follow here. We got Ambierona. Dr. Alan Grant comes out again. This is a legitimate Alan Grant toy from the 90s when I was a kid, by the way. I used to play with it. He comes out and he says, thank you, Amberoni. Really appreciate it. I got some work to do over here. And we have another...
sorry, Andrew's adding extra syllables.
Sorry. Thank you. Sorry I said your name wrong. But I've got to go work on this Velociraptor. So he's going to go continue working on his Velociraptor over here. Sorry about that. Kumi says, looks great. Game looks cool. And totally their jam. Also, they love our pronoun and alignment tags. Thank you. Yeah, we had a friend recently make these little tags and some of our outlines and stuff like that. And we're super jazzed about them. They look great. But glad you like them. Herbs says, very cool. Hope you both succeed.
Thank you. We need all the
You read a raptor? Yeah, we accept all Jurassic Park quotes in the chat.
We accept and welcome them. Yeah. And yes, playing around babies and streaming is been very tough. If anything, the 2 days that we stream, it's like the one excuse that I'm like, okay, I have to stay up and like have fun, because usually I'll like try to choose something like house maintenancey or nap, which is good on some parts of the week, but it ends up being too many times during the week if we don't plan to play something.
Yeah. And then Kumi says, Dr. Alan Grant. I thought you said Dr. Anagram. Yeah. It is, Dr. Anagram could come out some of the days too, but
Raids don't...
He looks different, so Raids don't...
Raids, freak Andrew out in a good way. Just like, oh, everyone's here, and Dr. Alan Grant is mumbling and not saying, not enunciating.
Yeah.
But so we just, I think we just did all our animal movement, our creature movement, but.
So we had two kind of contingency things that just happened.
Oh yeah,
So,
just so you guys know, we just built a xenobiology lab, so now we can like tame the animals or ride the animals if they're big enough.
which we've only found giant animals on this planet. There's a whole range of them. So humans are size 2 in this game, and then we've only found size 3 and 4 animals. So things like cows and elephants, sized. Yeah. And you can see the art. I'll show you
Yeah,
guys.
Andrew, the last scenario we played, they were all really small animals, so it's a little bit of a fun surprise.
So this is a 4. This is the guy who compulsively needs to assert his dominance. He's a meat eater, you'll see there. And then he has a kind of territory of 2, and he's a loner. And he's very aggressive. So this guy is just kind of running around being a jerk right now. So we're trying to stay out of his way. That's the cool thing. All the animals interact with each other. And so there's kind of a natural ecosystem that happens on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Herbs Gambit says, "Cool, Jurassic Park is my favorite movie, so I will quote based on your gameplay. Please let me know if it gets annoying. It probably won't."
Because it's Andrew's favorite movie.
Yes.
I walked down the aisle to the Jurassic Park theme song. So if that's any indicator of how much we like Jurassic Park and welcome the quotes, there it is. Yeah,
I still have a bunch of my toys.
Andrew's grabbing his toys.
I'm getting distracted here, but I still have this guy.
Herbs Gambit. Andrew's like so pumped.
I'm glad that you like Jurassic Park. So I still have this guy. He's out of batteries. We were trying to figure that out the other day. We thought he would be a fun analog alert. And then I also have a Barbasol thing with.
Oh, I was gonna say you should have just shown.
Yeah.
I have
a secret compartment in it. So it's not just Barbasol.
It would be funny if you're like, I have these toys and this Barbasol. A coworker gave him that Barbasol, and it's like it's the modification is cool where when you even shake it, it feels like shaving cream, but it's like modified so you can have a secret thing in there.
Kumi, yes. So each animal, they have 3 different levels of herd size. So they're either loners. It means that they.
You can show this as an example.
Yeah.
It's
up here.
Andrew just figured out how to do this zoom in, so we're trying to practice it. So this is a great opportunity. Thank you for asking.
So this guy travels in herd sizes of 3 or less, and they try to stick together in small herds. This guy's a loner, and so he's going to basically, if another species of his type comes into his territory, he'll attack them, and then there's a larger herd size as well, in which case everyone that comes out is going to stick together. That's one big herd.
They do move in herds.
Yes. Dotson, we got Dotson here. All right, Moy, yes. And Jurassic Park Evolution is a great computer game. It is. I tend not to get too sucked into kind of the park building games. That's more Pia's jam.
That's my.
But that was one that I did spend a decent amount of time. Back when it came out, I should go revisit it though because it's very fun.
Happy Mars
Landing
Day
Day
to everyone in chat. This was actually one of the we've been wanting to play it. Herbs Gambit. I don't know if you can see. Oh, you can't see it from here. But we have Sleeping God set up on the coffee table behind us, and we just couldn't. The baby just kept getting distracting
right
us.
There.
Behind, next to the mandarin oranges.
So Sleeping Gods is our off-stream game right now. But yeah, the Mars landing. So we wanted to do a space themed game.
Yeah.
Of course, terraforming Mars or on Mars would have been the ones that make a little bit more sense. But
This is a
this one is a space exploration game, so we thought it worked.
But yeah, it's a small indie, or was it? Is it? Yeah, it's an indie publisher, kickstarted. This is and it from Seattle. So,
Yeah. Cherry Picked Games is the publisher.
Mhm. But it's been fun so far. I'm not a big, like I said, I'm not a big co-op person, but I'm liking it so far. We're more like narratively driven players when it's the two of us, and then we kind of like more Euro games when it goes to higher player counts. But we've been liking it so far, even though we're getting whomped right now. So
Yeah. Star Wars Edge, there's Warp's Edge and Under Falling Skies, but those are both solo only, I think. Yeah, I've not heard of Warp's Edge, but Under Falling Skies is like kind of blowing up the whole solo game market recently, and I've been a little interested. I've not played a whole lot of solo games, but I've been more interested in solo games now that we're streaming, because I just need some sort of social piece to it, just for it to make sense. And then I watched a few people soloing streaming. I was like, oh, that actually was kind of fun. So,
yeah,
Autobox online, almost bought this yesterday. Love the artwork. Yeah, the artwork was the first thing that I noticed, and then and looks like Autobox followed us. Hey, Dr. Alan Grant comes out. He's all dusty. He's been working hard uncovering this Velociraptor. He says, "Thank you. I've been working really hard on this raptor, and I'm excited to show you later." He says, "Thanks for the phone." Goes back.
Ambia, yeah, I saw you said I just checked far away on BGG and it was already marked on my want to playlist. Don't remember when I heard about it. Yeah, the art auto is really great, and it's the most fun rule book I've ever read. It has a lot of tongue-in-cheek dark humor to it.
Without getting distracted from the rules either. Sometimes I feel like rule books try to be funny, and then it's hard to find the rules. This one finds a good balance where it's really easy to understand, but it's also funny. Like, for example, over here, this is the card board. Is what they call it. It's the board that holds all the cards, and that's an acronym for something. Which
the
isn't
acronym is.
Star's Edge says Warp's Edge is similar-ish. It's a bag builder. Oh, I love bag building. It's a fun mechanic. It's an evolution of Robinson Crusoe, or am I totally off base? It's been years since I played Robinson Crusoe. It's probably a little less brutal than that, but you're probably not completely off base for that.
Yeah, card. So this is the card board. This is the mission tablet, but the card stands for conceptual or actual reference designator, and it has like all our injury cards and our various like artifacts and anomalies and whatnot. But
Sarah Song says you should check out Galaxy Trucker. That is the best rulebook. I have not read that rulebook. I've played the game when I first got into the hobby, and it was taught to me by a friend. So I didn't get to read it, but I
wouldn't know how rule books typically are because Andrew does most of the rule book reading, and I just do the learning and the. What did you say? I don't remember you telling me that. But should we keep going?
Yeah, let's start this round.
Well, this was narratively what Andrew and I were talking about, where when we are not in the same hex, I feel like the chat is the voices in our head as we succumb to space madness. Because one of the things there's the hunger track, there's health, and then there's loneliness. So if we are apart for too long, we get super lonely and die too. So
So we needed to finish this event that we triggered when our landing pad got attacked. So it says, alert, landing pad is compromised. Sensors detect additional life forms underneath the foundation. Probable genetic relations between the new creatures and the intruder. There's an intruder? Oh. Add 4 creatures to landing pad. These creatures match the species currently in the hex. Oh no.
There's a lot of them.
It's like there's only 3 left, so that's all we can add. But
There's so many.
It's like a giant elephant-sized hippo that just and they don't like being together, so they're all gonna just attack each other next round.
It's gonna be a
it's
battle.
gonna be this is kind of spinning out of control.
Wait,
here.
can you? So there's an intruder, creatures, and the intruder.
Yeah, this is the first I've heard of intruder.
This kind of reminds me, if anyone has watched, I feel like this is just a sci-fi scary thing with intruders.
Yeah, it reminds you of something you're saying.
I was about to say a movie, but then I was like, what if that is a
Oh, is it a spoiler?
spoiler? I stopped myself. What is your favorite sci-fi space-themed movie? We have a lot, but I will not say the specific one I was thinking of.
You'll work it in later. And then, so we built the xenobiology lab,
Yep.
which is, you have detected a construction of a xenobiology lab. Thank you for your interest in alien flora and fauna. The Federation has extremely limited knowledge of extraterrestrial life forms. This is the perfect chance to answer the most pressing question in Federation society: what tastes better? Now that you can safely prepare local meat, please sample a selection of the wildlife and record critical opinions. All right, so that these are kind of like situational things that pop up in the game if we meet certain conditions. And so we have kind of a side mission here: consume meat from a total of 4 different species. Describe the taste of each meat during your next socialized action. A socialized action is a free action that happens when we are on the same hex, which is when we lose our loneliness. And then place cubes on ecosystem slots to track progress. Okay. So we may or may not be able to get to that. All these animals are incredibly hard to kill because they're huge, and we can only do 1 damage at a time. We need to find food, actually. So
That's true. Well, and it's interesting that our next mission is to consume some meat and document about how it tastes. It's like our mission is like a allrecipes.com like collection for this planet or something.
Mm-hmm.
Collect the recipes.
And we have to build those 3 buildings, which require minerals.
That's a lot of stuff to do.
I know,
We
we gotta
don't-
get back to this bioplastic bog over here. All right, I think I'm gonna use my first action to explore because we need to find a food source and we need to get away from all these animals. I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna go that way.
Okay, wait, hold on. Before you leave, should we plan on what we're doing before we split up?
I mean, that's what I was just saying. I'm looking for food.
You're looking for food that way. I'm looking for food. I'll look for food up,
Okay.
and then let's try to like maybe we'll rendezvous closer. Oh, actually, I'm afraid of this stuff over here. I kind of want to move that way, but I don't want to get too far from you.
Yeah. We need to not go near that stuff because that's. I mean, they might destroy our building, which would be bad, but
they're gonna
we can build it again.
ruin our landing pad. Okay, I'm just so the sunk cost. Like, I did all that hard work. Okay.
Okay, I'm going. Forest.
Andrew's gonna build.
And so whenever we explore, it's a different terrain type, and then you roll a die to see what is on that. And lucky for us, is a plant grove, which is a source of food. That was perfect. So that was my first action. Explore.
I'm gonna explore this direction up here.
Okay, you can. Oh, yeah. We are not strategizing.
You can't tell me anything.
We're out of the hex together. We cannot discuss strategy.
Green, and I go here. Are we like off the? Yeah, we're off camera now. We're so afraid of these.
Here, yeah. We can try to
While you scoot
move
that.
the map.
Auto box, you are right. Pacific Northwest sensibilities. You gotta get creative with months of rain. I hear ya. The other day actually it was earlier today. We're like, let's go on a walk, and then we looked outside and it was raining. We're like, well, maybe not.
So our crash site's down here. We've just been running north the whole time.
Galaxy Truckers. I'm gonna have to write that down. We have a little notebook because people give such good suggestions on screen. We started watching Lupin because of a suggestion on screen.
There's a screen here.
No, that's brown. Or else.
Where's the...
It's in green here.
Oh,
One of the things
I am colorblind.
Andrew's colorblind, and this is a really bad really bad for colorblind people game, but it is a really beautiful. I love the colors, but they're really subtle, which makes me feel like that's why I like it.
Yeah, well, I mean, most of the game's fine, but the cubes are the one thing that's hard to tell the difference. I've done my second action. I'm gonna check chat. People have been most likely.
Yes. And then wait, Andrew, did you use? Sorry, this is a question, but it was just me not knowing what you were doing. You're not gonna talk to me.
I can't tell you what I did.
Okay. All I know is you're on your second turn, so I'm on my second turn too. I'm gonna explore here. Can you give me a hex?
So Sarah Song says actually the Galaxy Trekker book was actually really fun to read. Yeah, I definitely this game I want to play again. We used to play it with someone who's really good at it, so that's fun because you just build his truck in like 5 seconds and it would withstand everything.
Anomaly.
Think of it like a big cow. That is talking about the big Brontosaurus, Brachiosaurus. Sneezes on Jurassic Park. Sorry.
Andrew, this is the only trivia Andrew knows.
Gonna derail
So Herb's Gambit, keep going.
Keep it going.
Wait, hold on. So there's a den spawn 1, den 2, but we don't have any den 2. So that means we make new. No.
All right, so we got a new animal. Show us several here. It is a Bomo Rene. Expansionist turns existing dwellings into dens by spraying them with noxious adhesive goo. So it takes over the other dwellings, which is actually pretty far away from the other dwellings. It has a special action, which is claim. Requires 4 Bomo. Converts one building or landmark into a Bomo den. Oh, it attacks our buildings.
No. This is really bad.
It's a small creature, though. It's our first small creature. We can kill this one.
We can kill it, or we can domesticate it.
I mean, we could domesticate it and then use it to take over. I don't know what the Vomo is. Requires 4 Vomo.
I keep thinking you're saying FOMO.
Yeah, it has a fear of missing out. Just on Kickstarter.
FOMO.
I had a bad first experience. And it was tough. Oh, this is talking about Galaxy Trekker. The Moy, we can tell you what the movie is. We know you've seen it. So, I'll give you that much. The Moy is a friend of the stream. Our first subscriber. Our first and true subscriber. Yeah, first and true subscriber. I'm sorry to hear that Ambi bad first games. Yeah.
What was a game?
There was a really bad first game of ours was Dominant Species. We had only played Dominion up until that point and Ticket to Ride, and then we got introduced to Dominant Species, which was a big jump.
It was a misstep, a miscalculation for sure on the new friend that we made that was like, oh, you guys want to play a board game? You've played Dominion and Ticket to Ride? Well, you should play Dominant Species.
So back to our question we asked a long time ago. We're only catching up here. Galaxy Quest, Babylon 5, and the old Dune movie are all shout-outs. Heard great things about the old Dune movie in kind of of its era type of way. Which I should watch it before the next one comes in. Blade Runner. Oh yeah, Blade Runner. That's a wild ride. I really enjoyed the new one.
Did you watch the old one?
I've seen the old one. I want to go back and rewatch it just because I didn't watch it when it was new, and I think it really blew people's minds at the time. So I kind of want to understand that a little bit better. So it's on my list to rewatch. I'm interested in Bone Shot, but the first remake was meh for Mystic. All right, I'm gonna kind of fly through this a little bit. Children of Dune was there was like a Children of Dune or something. It wasn't your favorite. Yeah, I've heard mixed reviews of the Dune books as they move on from the first one. I know people who love it, people who hate it. So I'm guessing if I didn't know they made another movie, but
And
then
then
Takenoko, guys, that is a colorblind nightmare. Takenoko is
the panda.
the panda one.
Hmm.
Did I struggle with that one?
I can't remember. That was one of our early games too.
I was drinking a lot when I played it, so I just remember eating a lot of panda. Herb's Gambit making it a beautiful but deadly addition to Jurassic Park. That's the tour guide in the computer, and then Autobox, eat it and report. Yes. Back to our mission where we have to eat and report all the things. Delicious with cranberry sauce. Dune books really get really odd. Yes, I've heard that. Yeah, I have a few friends who absolutely love the whole series and feel like it gets better with every book, and then other friends that feel the opposite. So I've only read the first one, so I enjoyed it.
The you can find, it's your turn by the way, but you can find someone with, there's so many varied opinions, but the people who love it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say what's happening in my turn next. Yeah, this game has been interesting because I think my natural inclination when there's creatures, because we play like Cthulhu games and whatnot, is to fight them. But especially this specific scenario and what's spawning, they're all way too big for us to fight. Done? Done with your turn? Okay. I'm gonna go for my last turn. Gonna go here and talk to Andrew.
Oh, hey! What if I moved away?
That would be.
Now, one interesting thing about movement in this is you can move as far as you want in one direction, as long as there's not a creature in the way. Which there's creatures everywhere with this, but great, we're here. I've got food. You got food?
I have food.
Okay,
we're both
you should
gonna
eat
have
it.
to eat.
It's I already ate my food.
Oh, I'll eat my food too.
Yeah.
One food heals all hunger. It's like
Consuming-
lambus bread.
Consuming food is not an action. It's a free action.
Free action.
Yeah.
It was negotiated by your
By the
union.
unions to have the free actions. So.
It said so in the
Rule
rules
book.
book.
In the rules book.
All the rules in that book. Okay, I am very nervous about what our there's a lot of objectives and a lot of animals breaking the stuff that we.
I feel like
like
it's not hopeless yet, but we're getting close. All right, so let's go through the animals here, and they're each gonna do what they're gonna do. So they do. You go in order on this board. I'll just come down a little bit. So we've got the ones on the top here are the animals with dens, and then these ones down here are the ones that wander. So they are kind of nomadic animals, and then we go from left to right and activate them. And then we choose within that species if there's more than one. We just choose whatever order makes sense. So the first one is an interesting one. He goes around and eats oil, is his main thing, and he doesn't really care about too much else. He's a defensive animal, so if people come into his area, he will fight them. But last turn, he moved over to his fuel deposit, so he's going to destroy it.
Man, that's a bummer because fuel would be really great to get around these creatures.
Yeah, fuel is a really great resource because you can move as a free action with it. But this creature has been eating it all game, so we have not had a lot of it. And then this next one is an expansionist. It turns, we talked about this a little bit ago, it turns existing dwellings into dens by spraying them with noxious adhesive goo. Claim. Requires 4 Voma. Do we know what Voma is yet?
No.
Let's take a look here.
Andrew's
There's
gonna
a
look,
resource guide.
and I will check on the chat. Sort of song. I've read all the original books. The last book is creepy. I haven't read any of the stuff by his son. I get really scared very easily, so I don't know if I would get anywhere near those books. Probably. Maybe someone will give me the summary. No. we have lost the rule.
FOMO, I'm guessing, is one of those resources. I just don't know. So we've got minerals, meat, bioplastic orbs, fuel, and plant. Alright. We're going to get back to that guy, but he doesn't have 4 FOMO, so it doesn't matter at this point. So he's going to try to... He has a range of 3, and he's
Found it.
spawned over there. So he's going to try to go over here, and he eats any cubes that are just out on the board. So let's look at that. And then these guys are all... Oh no, this guy's still alive. He's an herbivore. He's defensive. So yeah, he was just attacked, right, by this big guy. Oh no, he wasn't attacked. He's just eating. He's eating food here. So he's gonna just keep eating food from the plant forest.
The Ursa Stella.
And then this guy burrows to preserve warmth, prefers rocky areas. Is there any rocky areas? Oh, okay. So he's probably going to go over here because there's some guys over there. He just ate plants. And so he's going to go to the rocky areas because that's where he prefers. And that's where some animals are. He's going to try to eat them. They're the same size as him. And then Dominus Solus, compulsive need to assert dominance. Does not pursue fleeing creatures. So he just asserted his dominance in this area. But this guy stuck around to eat the plants. So he's going to try that again. And give me a damage. He's going to start attacking this
Oh
guy.
man, I like the Ursa Stellas. They're so cute.
And now we've got our big problem. All of
It's like
our giant hippopotamuses.
it's like a hippo like dome of like all of them are just crashing into each other. They don't want to be there.
Yeah, and they don't want to be near each other, so they're all gonna
Run away.
run away. I think, yeah, because they stampede, right? That's like their whole thing.
There's-
So they're all gonna disperse here. So this guy's gonna run here. Oh, but there's 2 more over here. Where did these guys come from?
Would it be a chain reaction then?
Yeah, this is so
That would make
yeah.
the most sense.
this guy, he's gonna move here, and he's gonna do a damage over at our biology lab.
No, we just built that. We can't have nice things on this planet.
This guy's gonna come here, and then he's gonna do. He does damage to structures. Doesn't really attack people.
And smaller creatures, they trample.
Oh, so
We are a smaller creature. Oh no, we're gonna
I can't take the
get hit.
damage
And I
Oh.
got damaged.
right here.
Well, chat,
No, you
this
you
is
take-
goodbye. Oh no, I'm sorry. I was
That's
preparing
Mr.
for my
Billy's.
death.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, I got a torn ACL from that hippo. The hippo elephant reduces the possible travel distance to 2 houses.
This guy is gonna stampede this direction. So they're trying to stay in the forest as well because that's their preferred habitat. This guy is going to stampede this direction. This guy's gonna stampede this direction. And it says smaller creatures it does damage to.
Yes, trampling both structures and smaller creatures.
So let's do damage to this mole guy. The cute mole. He's just getting beat up on.
He's just leave it like he's just by himself.
And then this guy is also going to leave in a non-preferred direction because it's the only one left. Would he go towards the bioplastics, or actually he'd go where there's no one else? They're not aggressive animals. Woo! Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's these hippos just running around everywhere right now. And we took some damage, but we survived.
Ooh, we like Rick and Morty. I don't know what that series is. Bone Sean, do you know the name of it? Live action? Yeah, don't die. We're trying not to. I did not think that we would get trampled to death, but there are all the alien hippos on the board right now. So,
Yeah, it's
I'm-
I mean,
can you zoom in?
Yeah, I think this is the let's do the zoom.
Hard to
So
see, but
this is the
they're
hippo.
everywhere.
This is a hippo. This did our lab needed to take damage? We forgot to.
Oh, so no, you did not miss it. We did not give a clear explanation of the objective. So
Oh, yeah.
each scenario is different. We've met a couple of objectives already that are getting destroyed right now. We built a landing pad. We built a xenobiology lab or computing core, and then our next steps are to do like build a power grid and consume the meat and write reviews for the meat. And then once you finish all the objectives, you go back to where you crash landed, fix that crash landing site, and then you win the scenario. So we were about halfway, but I really don't know. We're both hurt. We're like one away from
take
dying.
2 wounds. So, so we beat our xenobiology lab. How do we build?
We can
improved-
fix. Oh, you know what? Oh, wait. Can we talk? Yeah, we can.
Yes.
We can fix broken buildings that we have using just any of the
Oh, you know what?
blue or the gray.
We have. We unlocked the xenobiology gear, so we can build these as an action.
Okay. Yes, they come with multiple scenarios and setup. So
There's a lot. There's it's the yellow book, right?
Oh.
Yeah. So this is scenario 1. There's a tutorial scenario that we went through earlier that was pretty easy and quick. I think it took us less than an hour.
It was easy though because of the way the hexes were coming out and the type of creatures we were getting.
Yeah, the way the setup and everything works, it is pretty random, like most games. But the emergent story, as you guys are probably seeing, is pretty interesting. We've got this hippo versus this just planet just full
Hippo
of
versus
big
hippo
things,
violence.
yeah. There are, I think, 10.
10 scenarios.
Maybe 8. 8 scenarios, and some of them come with specific starting map setups, and they look pretty variable. Just kind of glancing through it, but yeah. Thanks for putting the link in the chat.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Bone John, has anyone else seen the? Yeah, we went through that, and then Moy, don't die. Yeah, it's kind of like that scene in King Kong when they're running away from the dinosaurs. If anyone's seen that, the dinosaurs are all like running in that small valley. They're all almost dying.
It's so like the hippo creature it's a gentle tree eater. Can be startled or scared into
They're flocking this way.
brief violent rampages.
Okay, so we have access to all this stuff that we can build. So we can build a fear amplifier, improves the scare action, which we can scare things. I always forget that that's an action. We can kind of like push the animals away from us, which will make these things stampede that are causing all the damage anyway. So we probably don't really want to
because part of our objective is to build these structures.
This one's great. With 2 food, we can domesticate. If we domesticate the hippos,
We shouldn't be calling them hippos. This is the Amanus herbalacerta.
I think we should maybe try to build that.
Yeah.
I
I said at the very beginning of the game, and maybe the Moyers can back me up, but I said that I wanted to domesticate some animals, or I think maybe I said ride some animals. They can become your steeds if they're size 4.
Yeah, you get access to, I think, 4 more actions if you have an animal. So we've got traps as well. Carry 1 creature in trap, and then you can release the creature. Alright, so these are all available to us to build.
Yeah, I think I'd like to domesticate them, because if you domesticate one, does that domesticate all of them? It's
No,
kind of
it's just 1.
just one. Well,
But it's a size 4 animal. We can start fighting back.
oh, okay.
Even though these are docile creatures, if it's domesticated, do what we tell it to. Yeah, I will start by.
Wait. So what is our plan before we leave?
Well,
Each
I'm not
other.
leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm staying
Okay.
here. I'm using
Oh.
because we're in the forest.
Hold on, no, we didn't even do our hunger and our loneliness check.
We don't get loneliness. 'Cause
We're not lonely
but
because
we
we're
do.
together in the same spot, but we're hungry. Okay.
First action, I'm grabbing a food.
For my action, I will also grab a food.
And there's more than one domestication tool. So I'm going to, my second action, I'm going to build a domestication tool.
The Moy confirms that I was talking about domestication of animals at the very beginning of the game.
Right at the start of the game, yeah. I mean, when you read in a game that it lets you train and domesticate animals, alien species, it's just something you want to do, right? Like, it just
Especially
sounds fun.
All the animals are giant.
Yeah.
Your
Sorry.
turn? Oh, you
I just
grabbed.
I spent my food to build a domestication tool.
Nice. And then on your hex. So then I'm just gonna grab. Maybe what I'll do is I will grab another plant so that you will have some food, and I'll pass it to you.
Oh, you're giving me the food?
Yeah, that's my turn
Thank you.
because I'm gonna.
Oh, you're leaving.
Oh, actually no, I shouldn't explore because it'll be my third turn. And the last time we explored on our third action, bad things happened.
The rule book does expressly tell you not to explore on your third action because you can't react to whatever you find. And I disregarded that in our first turn, and now we're in a terrible situation. Because I found an animal den, and they attacked me first turn, and I took a damage. And an animal den of a defensive animal. My final action is going to use my domestication tool. It's a one-time use, and I'm going to domesticate this Imanis urbalicerta.
Moy, you can trap the animals. You can, and like herd them around, but you cannot put them in a sphere. And then
But
for my
if
last.
we could build some spheres for ourselves, I've seen Jurassic World. I know those work very well.
Oh my gosh, I mean, it doesn't feel like it's a good thing to do. Well, what else can I do? I'm going to grab another.
Bum John says, I think it's called Solar Opposite. Alien family live in America during ancient Greek times. Whoa. They live in a... Oh. Whoa. It's not 100% clear. Got that right. Is this something you just heard about then? That sounds like a crazy concept.
Okay, your turn, Andrew.
All right. That was my last action. Was the domestication. I think you used your 3 actions.
To be the very best. To train them is my cost. Actually, I was telling Andrew, who did not watch a lot of Pokemon, that a bunch of these characters kind of look like. There's one that looks like a Nidoran, and one that looks like a Weeble, and a Weeble. But
maybe I can get this
if there was
animal to speak to the other animals and
Oh.
convince him that there's so many of them.
I thought you were gonna say maybe I can get this reskinned as Pokemon.
I think all your actions are
Yeah, they are.
So then we move on to drones. We have not built any drones. Another thing about this game, you can build drones.
They can do your bidding.
Yeah, if we had chosen to build a computing core building, then that would have given us access to building drones, which also do your bidding. So then we move to creatures, and we start now, because trained creatures are faster than non-trained creatures, is what the rulebook says. I don't know. I don't think that's true, but I think they're probably the same speed as wild animals, if not slower, but they go first anyways. And so I can, with my creature actions, I can toil, I can cuddle. So I can cuddle to make myself less lonely, although I'm not lonely right now.
You can
I
cuddle
can
your
ride,
creatures.
In which case we would move into a new space. You could carry some stuff for me, or drop some things for me. Toil, I think. I'm trying to remember.
Toil,
what
I think,
is.
is it. They work.
They work the land, yeah. So they would be able to do the building action. They could give me some food. And I still have.
We need to look at our mission objectives. What are we trying to do?
Well, we need to get minerals, and plastics, and one of the buildings requires food. I have food. This is big. So okay. Where's the bioplastics are down here? So I'm gonna start sending this guy. He needs to go work. He's gonna go over here. Oh, but then these guys are gonna fight because they don't like being together.
Yeah.
It's okay. Our guy can win. So he's gonna move, and then he is going to fight. So he's gonna do a damage to this. Yeah.
Bye, Herbs Gambit.
Herbs Gambit's on the way out. Thank you for joining us. Always a pleasure to have you in chat.
Thanks for all the Jurassic Park quotes.
Yes, Thursday night is WandaVision night. I know a lot of people watch that. Ruel's always talking about being excited to watch it. So
Well, enjoy your night with your wife.
yeah, have fun. So I'm moving, and
I'm just imagining your characters in game throwing a Pokeball at the creature, and the hippo just looks at you and charges.
he's attacking that hippo, which is gonna send that guy stampeding, which is great. This is gonna change. And so that's all of our domesticated animals, and then we just go into the wild animals. So the oil barons don't have any oil, so they're gonna move. They're gonna burrow back to their den. These guys burrow, or tunnel, and then these guys. We didn't figure out what the Vomo is yet. They're just going after resources right now.
Beads.
Hey, we are back. Thank you guys. Thanks for waiting. We just set up our down thing so it didn't kick you all. Hopefully, but appreciate you guys sticking around.
The internet did not like that I was looking for a
The
rules
rules.
thing.
You might want to Google search it actually.
Okay. Wow.
And okay, so this guy, he's fearless. First to forge alone. There's none of them on the map. These guys burrow to preserve warmth, and they are looking to eat some food. Oh, but you know what? This building is closer, so they're going to do damage to this building because they like the electricity of Federation buildings. And then we've got our big guy who's always asserting dominance. He is going to do one final blow on this guy and turn him into 3 meat.
Oh, everyone's got questions about the Vomo Den. Here you go.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Bye, Ambi. Thank you for joining us tonight. We'll let you know next time if we win. I don't think it looks good, but...
Oh, you know what? The Vomo, they're a pack animal.
Bye, Sarasong.
Bye, thanks for joining us. Vomo are pack animals, and if 4 of them are in the same spot, then they convert a place to a den. So there's only 1 of them right now, so he's just
Okay.
gonna act. So, let's try to defend this. Thanks everyone who rated in and stuck around.
Yeah,
It's been fun
thank
having you
you.
in chat. Thanks to all the lurkers out there too. Good night to those that are heading out. 10 p.m. on the West Coast. It's getting late.
The moi. I like the emoji popcorn eating flying Pia.
With the wings. Yes, that's awesome. So this guy's a scavenger. He's just gonna grab cubes off the board.
We haven't played a co-op in a while, other than Pandemic and Legacy, and that was the first time I played Pandemic. But you played Pandemic with the Moy and Mrs. Moy.
So this guy is defensive though, and so he will defend his den. Attack this guy. That's probably what would happen, because that gives him something to do because there's no food in the area. So he's gonna attack this guy who's going to stampede.
Oh no!
Here we go. Both these guys take damage.
Is this what you orchestrated? Is that they just keep stampeding into each other?
I didn't orchestrate this. This is just what the game gave us.
Okay.
This guy's going here. This guy's going here, which is going to do damage.
Oh
to
my
the landing
gosh.
pad. I'm glad we built it in the runes.
Oh yeah.
Um,
When you build something in the ruins, it'll give it some extra defense or durability.
and this guy is going to just try to keep getting away from the other.
It's so painful because they're just ruining all the things I built.
It is.
just-
It is very painful right now. I think that's all of them. All right, and then we do the spawn dice. Hey, nothing
Finally!
spawns.
The
We've
first
been rolling
time
bad with the spawn dice.
we've
Nice.
been spawning characters or creatures every single turn.
All right, so we are back to.
Oh, we have
Start
to
a
get
turn.
our. Oh wait, no, we're not.
We never left the same this same spot that holds.
But do
round.
we do a hunger?
Oh yeah, we each get a hunger.
We gotta try these meats. These.
There's a bunch of
alien
meats there, but there's also a giant animal that asserts its dominance. That just is sitting on the food. So
I think we should just explore. I think I'm gonna explore north or that direction. Do
okay,
you want to explore this direction?
probably yeah. I guess I'm going first.
It's been really fun to see. I mean, it's been really hard this game, but it's definitely a lot different than the last game.
Interesting. What is this?
That is.
Oh, we have one up
yeah.
there too.
Roll it.
What is it?
It's a desert.
Desert. Okay. It's a desert. Ooh, it's an anomaly.
Please be good.
Ruins. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, this is perfect.
This is ruins of an ancient or previous alien society.
My first turn, and now we can no longer discuss strategy. Good luck.
Okay, well, my plan was to go this way. I think I remember gesturing. I don't remember. Oh no. Oh, maybe I should move.
It's really hard not to talk.
Go this way. No, there's a dead.
Do you want to
Yeah. X.
hex?
Oh. Oh no. This is.
You are the person.
Oh, sorry.
Do that one. Yeah.
And then I'm gonna roll to see what's there. An anomaly. A den.
Oh,
No,
the last
the-
den.
Oh my gosh, there's so many creatures.
Could be giant creature.
Please be tiny that we can eat all the meat. Oh, it's like a little lemur with a little Cthulhu nose. You gotta show
Alright,
the
we gotta
chat
throw this.
for those who are
this.
still here. It's a
It
lemur.
is a tiny thing. It uses its opposable thumbs to pull bugs and fungi from inside of the trees. Steal. Take one resource cube from a hex or an explorer's cargo. Let's try to steal stuff from this. Kumi says, seriously getting survival exploration video game vibes off this. Loving this. Definitely feeling that. It gives me a little bit of vibes of Don't Starve, actually.
If you're familiar with that
game. Just in that the ecosystem is like, and each game is unique. So there's only 8 creatures that come out in each game.
But there are
Punching.
a lot of I don't know if it's clear, but these are all different creatures with different like movements and herd movement and like range and size. So
in even just the fact that this game had the the hippos plus this dominance thing, which just started this chain reaction of stampedes in our game. It's like that probably wouldn't have happened in most games.
oh, Kumi, I love Don't Starve. We went to PAX and there was like a group of friends that were cosplaying all the characters, and I like followed them really like I separated from my group, which is bad because the service is really bad at PAX. It's like hopefully I find everyone again, but I like followed these cosplayers so I could take a picture with them because their costumes were so good. I wish there was a way to like show everyone because they did such a good job with them, but I would totally cosplay one of the Don't Starve characters, but it makes way more sense when they're all there.
Yeah, just a single character would. I mean, it would still be fine at PAX or something. Hoping for the day that we can go back to PAX.
Yeah, ridiculous amount of replayability. Totally. I think I'm just so like this has been such a much more like I feel like I'm tiptoeing around the map a lot more. While the last game Andrew and I played, because there weren't as many dens and animals, you could just book it from one side of the map to the other because there wasn't any of the barriers. But I feel like we don't want to be anywhere on the map right now, so we're exploring a whole lot more than last time. So it's been really fun, even though we're not doing very well. So I explored, and then this creature comes up. Oh, I didn't find the little piece. I'm going here, because that's where I have to go, right?
Yeah,
And then
you moved into that exploring.
and then it's your turn, and I'll look for this little lemur guy.
Perfect. So the runes allows me to destroy the runes to gain 2 resources, so I'm going to do that. And I'm going to gain a mineral and a plastic. Pia, help me, which one's the plastic? This?
Yes. This game is 2-player only.
Yeah, only 2 players. So Pia and I are narrating our turns, but we're trying not to discuss strategy at all to what we're doing. Typically, using the hardcore rules, we're not even supposed to speak during our turns. But that's not fun for a stream, so we're talking.
Oh, so this is the character that goes here.
So it's technically easy mode.
And then I will let's see. Oh, this little lemur can steal things from my cargo.
Careful, hold on to your butts.
Yeah. That's my food. Oh my gosh.
Are you gonna kill it?
It's just gonna
It's so
respawn. Hold on. An explorer's cargo and move 1 hex away. And its range is 2. I might have to kill it just to get ahead of the game. Oh no.
What's its home type territory?
It looks like it's Greek. Oh, so it won't be going towards me.
Yeah, its den is there, but it prefers.
Okay, here's a rules thing. If I leave that area, will it get me?
No.
No, okay.
You can leave it free.
There was a monkey that definitely jumped on my back when we were traveling in China, and it was so, like they were so cute, but then they also were getting really aggressive because too many
was
tourists
terrifying.
were, and I wasn't getting near it. It was just walking by, and it like jumped on my shoulders, and I was like, my face is gonna get ripped off. No, no, they
I mean, they have sharp teeth and claws and stuff like that.
we saw them fight. at
They
one point.
there was lots of signs around being warning
Not to feed
not
it, yeah.
to feed or play with the monkeys.
But there are all these boardwalks through these forests, and then we saw the monkeys, and we were just trying to stay away from them because they're unpredictable, and the tourists were feeding them, so we're just trying to stay away. And we were trying to walk past them, and there's one that just climbed on my back, and I just breathed. Oh no, another one!
Oh, it's another monkey den.
No! Oh no, it's gonna take my food. I'm gonna eat my food right now. Chomp chomp.
Trying to get away from these monkeys. Okay.
Very rude, Bones John. I agree.
Last action is I'm building actually completing an objective here.
It's been a long time.
Analytics lab. Use this to recover. We haven't found any artifacts.
We've just been finding a bunch of animals.
Not sure how to find the artifacts actually.
But that's the last
Yeah.
part, right? That's the last one? Or
That
is
was
it
my
mine?
last action. I think you have one more.
One more. Okay. I am going to go back to you. So I can be away from the lemur guys. And then we can talk.
Yeah.
And we won't get lonely at the end of this turn.
There we go. That's great. All right, so
Yes, Bonjean, these monkeys were probably that, I think, destructive. We were on a bus because we were in this huge national forest in China called, you can pronounce it correctly.
Zhangjiajie.
It's the like land formations that
And
James
that's not
Cameron.
necessarily pronounced correctly, but
It's
it's
Andrew-
probably. I studied Chinese in college like 12 years ago, so
You are You were gonna get
that is
closer
12
to.
years after not studying Chinese anymore.
Yeah. Well, that's closer than my pronunciation. But we were in a like bus because you had to take these like buses to the different locations in this giant national park, and which is based or James Cameron based Avatar mountains, or no, based Avatar's like mountain region off of this area in China. But we were in a bus and there was like a huge herd. I've never seen so many monkeys in my life just running across the road. Like there must have been more than 75, don't you think? There's like monkeys and like baby monkeys on their backs, and all the locals were like, don't go close to them at all.
Yeah.
But they would hang out right on the little boardwalks through because they knew people would feed them. We were like, get away. Don't look at them in the eyes.
This fuel.
No, this is fuel.
Or not fuel,
That's a bioplastic.
plastic.
Yeah.
My guy's picking up some bioplastic.
Your guy's on mission. My guy is.
That's my domesticated animal.
Oh, I should.
Yeah, you can get one of these monkeys. You can go steal stuff.
Oh, I could domesticate them. Then it'll be full circle. The monkeys won't steal from me, or if they do, this monkey will get them back.
Okay, so we're starting with the oil, guys. Is there any oil out on the board right now?
I really want to domesticate a monkey. It's not on objective, but.
So they do just eat random cubes. So they're gonna move one and then eat this cube.
What if I domesticated a monkey and then sent them to go get this meat? Or would they get eaten by that guy?
You can. The meat's gonna be gone pretty quick.
Oh, okay.
The Vomo is going to. It's just supposed to be eating stuff.
The FOMO with the FOMO.
Vomo has a range of 3. So anything in range of 3. So 1, 2, 3 is its territory.
Oh, Bones John, by the way, we gotta get that game of Draftosaurus going. Andrew saw the invitation. We had a busy day with the baby today, so we didn't get a chance to get to it. I have to learn the game. That's one of the things. That's the first step.
This guy's killing this monkey because it's an expansionist and it's a den that's within its range. Um, and Ursa, Stella, Fearless, but they're extinct right now. There's none of them. And then the monkeys go. So they're gonna move and probably steal. You have anything?
I do. It's gonna take my food, but I ate the other food ahead of time. What if I domesticated it, made it give it back to me?
You can. And then we've got this guy who burrows and damages buildings, but he also needs to eat. He prefers. Okay, there's finally food in his preferred landscape, so he's gonna go towards his food. Actually, there's closer food here. We probably go after that. No. Food, and then they always care about their biome. They don't want to be outside of their biome. It's their doing something else. So he's gonna go for the food that's in his biome. And then the dominance guy is going to stay here and he's gonna eat cube of meat because he killed that thing last turn. And then finally,
I wish that we had fuel, but that one creature keeps taking all the fuel. Because then we could just like teleport into the area with the meat and then leave really quick.
this guy is going to try to move there. I'm just trying to disperse all the hippos away from each other.
That makes sense.
'Cause that's
And
what
they're
they
not
do.
hippos, they're Imanis herbalacerta.
They're starting to spread out. I don't know why there was just a den of them underneath our building, but
It said so in the
Yeah.
in the outpost thing.
yeah, something to do with intruders.
Okay,
Might
wait.
have been put there.
So Andrew, hold on. I need to understand what we're doing here. We need to build a power grid.
Well, let's finish the round here. So
Okay.
we gotta do the 2 spawn dice.
I shouldn't be rolling them. I feel like we're getting bad rolls for me. Well, that was
Yeah.
not a good roll
All
for
right.
us
So
either.
for the den creatures, which one would we like to spawn? I'm gonna say maybe these.
Yeah, they're reserved, so
Yeah.
they kind of keep to themselves.
Also, then we have to do the wandering creatures. Oh, we gotta choose one as well. We didn't remember any of them that we would like. I don't want any more of these guys.
Yeah,
Maybe the big guy who asserts
Yeah.
dominance.
and they like gray.
Any
Oh, any
Nice,
the
yeah.
white
he
outline.
just needs to be outside. He wants to be outside of range of the other guy. Set him there. And that is it. We both get hungry and just hungry. And that's the end of the round. So we're starting our new round. So now we can
Okay,
talk strategy because we're the
So
same.
yes,
same
we
heads.
do not know what we're doing, or I don't know what we're doing. So I know we have to build a power grid. We've built a analytics lab already, and we need to build a perimeter. We need
Oh yes, Bonajon, Draftosaurus. Sorry, we.
I
Oh,
was
you were
just
just talking about that. Yeah. Also, I need to learn how to play the game. I haven't.
could
yeah.
I be the third person? So it'd be you, Bones John, Andrew, and then myself. And then, what are your thoughts about 2 monkeys with 2 butts?
From South Park. I have not seen that episode or the episodes. With that.
Let's see. So here, Andrew. I guess I've never had so many things.
Options.
Yeah, so I don't know.
So we just need to build those 2 buildings there.
Okay, what are these then? These contingencies? Are these
Um,
just special things?
They are
or-
like they're triggered by different actions that we take. So if
Oh,
we build,
are they side quests?
yeah. So like one of them triggered when our landing pad got attacked, and then another one triggered when we built the xenobiology lab. This one will trigger if we build the computing core and then This one will trigger if a building is destroyed or 3 buildings have. Oh, we now have 3 buildings with damage.
Oh no. Okay, can I read that one?
Yeah, go for it. Sorry, I've been reading them all.
Andrew's all about the dramatic reading. Okay, incoming transmission. Federation Alliance relays have noticed your struggles. They've noticed your struggles. They know. I know the
They
card.
can't give us a radio, but they can keep tabs on us.
They're too cheap to give us radios. This planet may be excessively hazardous to the facility's continued existence. If you agree with the assessment of hopelessness, construct a warning beacon to remind future Federation explorers not to attempt base building on this planet. I would not recommend it.
This is a crazy planet.
Unlock warning beacon. It's like a crazy fertile planet, but there's too much going on. Everything's way too big.
Okay, that's actually pretty fun that they give us that option. We need 2 minerals for them, though.
Yeah, we have not been pulling minerals. We've just... Who shuffled these hexes?
They gotta come out at some point. I definitely shuffled them. Alright. Is there a clear line without any animals?
To like run? Not from where we are. So our landing pad is still okay. Our crash site is halfway damaged. We gotta find more minerals.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go south so that it gets us close to the crash site so we can build this warning beacon.
Okay. There's a
So
warning.
we do get a score at the end of this, so I'm guessing by not finishing the objectives, but doing like the secondary objective, we'll get less score. But we'll see.
So you're going south then? So we're gonna build them
I
out.
just remembered we'd have to go through this den, and these guys are defensive, so I don't. Do
How about
that.
you take the path through the landing pad? Landing pad, then
It's gonna take too many actions. I'm gonna go.
wait, don't leave yet. What's the plan?
Oh, like I said, I'm going south and I'm trying to find
Where's our rendezvous point?
the crash site.
Okay.
Here. And that's as far I have to stop because there's an animal in that spot. And that's my first section.
I like how you said you're going south and then you're not going south. Okay, so this is where I wish we could talk because I'm not super sure. Is this animal defensive? This animal's passive.
This is the symbol for defensive.
Okay.
The X.
So where are those guys? I just want to pass them. Okay, I'm fine going next to the lobsters. The lobsters shouldn't hurt me. No. Oh my gosh. Andrew, I don't know what the plan is. I don't know why you didn't go immediately south if you were gonna go south. I'm going where you're going. Oh no. I don't like this lack of communication thing. Because I would have gone this way, but I don't know if that is gonna hurt me if I pass it. Prefers, so it's passive. It's not defensive, which means it won't attack me unless I provoke it. But it hasn't eaten in a while, and it does eat meat. Why did you go that direction? What does it mean? I'm going that way. It's taking too long to decide. Okay, Andrew, why did you go that way?
Because these guys' den are right here and they're defensive.
What if you go through here? Will they
Yeah,
attack?
these guys, I don't want to touch those guys. They're
Okay, good thing I didn't try to pass through there.
dangerous.
So I move there, start talking to you, and then I'm going to
That was your action.
just move.
But still, none. Right.
Where's the minerals?
Hey.
Free resource.
What's the resource for that type?
Where's this card?
Bioplastic. Ooh.
Can I pick it up?
That's my second action.
Yeah.
You could explore it. Or
And
same.
explore.
So you have to move to the spot that you're going to.
I'm gonna explore there.
So you can only move in one.
Okay,
line,
then
remember?
then the way that.
Yeah, we shuffle this. Hey, bioplastic.
Yes, that's what we needed.
This
Oh,
is
I don't
our-
know if Andrew, did you see that auto box had also followed? I don't think I. Okay.
And I did. Those have to go on. And we're back.
This
Thank
is so
you.
bizarre.
Yeah, I don't know. We haven't had this issue yet, so we'll have to do some research as to why it would be disconnected.
Which is crazy because Andrew has done what's it called? Extra Life and has streamed
10
video games. And
10
there's like a
different-
bunch of people with consoles in the room.
playing online and streaming. At the same time.
Pre-COVID.
Hey, the Hoppy Meeple's here. How's it going?
Let's go. Caro is also here. Caro or
Yeah.
Caro, let us know if we're saying that vowel correctly. Hoppy Meeple, we tried to take a note from your notebook, a cue from your, I don't know what the term is. We try to be like you guys and pair our drinks today, so we got a Starburst IPA for our space theme.
Wait, let's get.
For our space theme board game.
Here we go.
Um,
Oh, the lighting is bad on that.
There's
It's
a
pretty good,
picture
yeah.
of a poorly lit can of beer.
Ecliptic Brewery in from
Portland. We are actually, the game's turning around. We have not been attacked
We've
by.
come up with a second objective. So we've determined this planet is inhospitable, and we're trying to build
Wait, but it's
a warning beacon
it's inhospitable in that there's giant creatures who,
everywhere.
who stampede and ruin all the space like equipment that we keep and like bases that we keep building. So we're letting other people know that this is not a good spot.
The Moy, I would definitely recommend you follow the Hoppy Meeple on Instagram. He posts beer and board game pairings and reviews each beer. It's a lot of fun to see each day. I don't know if he does it daily, but each time he posts it. Yeah, the Moy, he likes beer. He likes breweries. He
The
may
Moy and
be
Mrs.
involved
Mrs.
with one.
Moy.
Yes,
They
the
both
Moys.
like
the
it.
Moys. All right, so we are done with that. So my creature moves. I can move him. He's holding this bioplastic. I think he can hold up to his body size. If I remember right. We don't need bioplastic, really, though, right? Ooh, mineral vein. This is what we need.
Yeah, but we have to pass through all those bad guys.
Okay.
Oh, we are
I'm gonna move
our domesticated animal control.
him here. He's gonna get attacked, but I think he'll survive. So actually, he might not get attacked because there's meat already here. This guy's getting out. All right. So let's go through the animals here. This guy, he is the oil eater. He's gonna go back to his den because they're out oil. And there's an animal here, and he's defensive, so he's going to attack this guy, who's going to stampede, damaging crash site.
No, my crash site. Is it almost?
That's almost.
It's
destroyed.
broken.
It's almost.
Oh, it's 3 out of 4 damage. Whew.
Oh.
This is bad.
This is bad because actually, all right, let's see how this goes. Then we're going to go to the Vomo. The Vomo, they're just trying to take over here. He's going to eat the meat. And then the Fearless, yet reserved. Ursus prefer to forage alone, but groups packs will be fine. They're very defensive, so we're going to be attacking this guy. Which one is he? Oh, he's the guy that stampede, so he's going to stampede.
So as Andrew does this, I will explain the game a little bit.
1 damage away from dying.
It's a co-op game, and there is a proximity chat feature where if we are on the same hex, we can talk or talk strategy, but if we are not on the same hex, we cannot strategize. There's also this cool ecosystem function mechanism where there's different animals that spawn. Some of them have dens, some of them just wander around, and they have different rules that they not rules, but kind of guidelines that they follow. Like certain animals like to be by themselves, certain animals move around in groups, some of them can travel across the whole map because they fly, and so each game varies because there's different animals that spawn.
I think we do lose, though.
Oh no!
Because this guy is next to the Federation ship.
There are some animals
And
that stampede and ruin your.
This isn't even the stampeding, though. This is the one that always wants to burrow and destroy buildings.
No! So that was our
But
outro.
there's nothing else in range for him to go. Although no, he's a meat eater, right? Oh, he would pick food over burrow. Sorry. He eats.
Okay,
meat.
very,
yeah. Okay,
very
sorry. Whoa, that was close. That was close. Sorry.
You know what? That does remind me that we need to go back to our spaceship and fix it because someone is gonna mess it up. Yeah, super thematic. It's a small indie publisher, Cherry Picked Games, based in Seattle. It was a Kickstarter. We didn't get it at from Kickstarter, but super thematic.
This guy asserts dominance, as always, and he asserts it on the guy that we domesticated. And he's gonna stampede this direction.
You can domesticate animals. You can ride the animals as steeds. You can build drones to do your bidding. Yeah, super thematic. It's only 2-player, and the chat proximity chat kind of prevents quarterbacking or like someone just taking over to all the strategies, but it makes me a little nervous because sometimes I don't know what I should do, and Andrew can't talk to me because he's already walked out of the hex.
Our hippos they're running from each other right now. There was a giant stampede in the middle of our game, and it hurt all our buildings a lot. So we're still kind of reeling from that. And the hippos are finally getting a far away enough from each other to not be stampeding all the time.
They're not hippos. They're Emanus herbalacertas.
I rolled terrible last time. So this is the spawn dice to tell us which new animals are coming in. Okay, 1 den creature, 1 wandering creature. For the den creature, it is another one of these guys. They are the oil eaters. And for a wandering creature,
The oil eaters have been really messy.
oh, it's another hippo, but we ain't got no hippos left. So they're all on the board, so we're good. And we both get hungry, and we don't get lonely because we're together.
Do you have food? You should eat.
I have
food.
no food.
Oh shoot! I'll give you food here.
Oh wait, what is this? Is this food? No.
No,
That's.
not super great. For colorblind people, but
I'm gonna eat the food. Thank you for the food.
Poppy Meeple both said, "Oh," out loud at the same time when you said it's only 2-player. Yeah, we've been liking the 2-player games. I'm not a big co-op person, but it's been really great.
Depends on the scenario. Obviously, we're streaming, so it's gonna take us longer. So,
But we played
uh,
a scenario earlier today, and it was
like
under.
about an hour. So
But today
that
we're-
was the
it's-
tutorial. So I think the bigger scenarios are.
Yeah, because we're at 2 hours 40 minutes right now on the same scenario, but we are.
But we're also
chatting it
chatting
up.
a lot. So.
Also, we just have a lot more animals.
There's
A lot of herd animals right now that are.
All right, so we need 2 minerals. We just need 2 minerals.
Yeah, but it has
How do
different
we-
scenarios. There are like 8 scenarios, and there's also like side quests. So this is like our main.
I'm leaving the thing, so we're not going to be able to talk strategy after this.
Oh no. Okay, these are our main objectives, and then basically each scenario you get a few objectives, and then you meet one, then you do the next one, you read the text, and then there's also side missions that pop up depending on what you do on the board. So one of the things that we had to do was we had to taste a bunch of meat and let our employers, the Federation Alliance, know what types of meat on this planet were good, but we were getting wrecked, so we had to send out a warning beacon. Was what happened. Okay, let's see. We need to get. We need to make a warning beacon. We need to find the.
So we need to go mine these minerals.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh wait, sorry, I'm not supposed to say anything.
Illegal-
We are outside of the
Illegal
We've been
chat.
traveling together quite a bit in the last part because there just isn't that much space to move right now. So we've been able to talk strategy up until now, but I can zip my mouth shut
Andrew's
while
very.
you do your turn.
Andrew's not a big rule stickler, but if there is something thematic, he's very much like, we're doing it the right way. This is the immersion doesn't. What's the point of the immersive like features if we don't follow it? Okay. I don't want to go near that thing. Okay. So I move here, and then for my move,
Hey, we're in the same spot.
we're going
We
here.
can talk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I knew we were gonna go there.
Okay.
I was thinking about maybe exploring here, and then for a moment, and I thought we're gonna accidentally spawn more creatures, and I don't want to do that.
That's what I do.
So then it's your turn.
Your turn, second action. Okay, we talk. I'm sorry, we. So you can move as far as you want in any one direction, as long as there's not an animal in your way. So there's animal here, so I couldn't move past him earlier, but and I had to explore it, but I'm moving all the way here. That's my action.
Oh, and sorry, we didn't say, but Edgar, welcome. Yeah, I think I already said that there are 8 scenarios, and they're all actually when I just look at it.
Edgar followed us.
Oh, thank you.
You'll get your answer here, but first, Dr. Alan Grant from Jurassic Park. He's been over here, digging up velociraptors and whatnot, and we do analog alerts here. So he comes out whenever we have a follower, dusts off his sleeves and his hands, says, shakes your hand, and says, "Thank you for following Coordinates Band. I got some work to do, and digging up some velociraptors." Heads back to the sand, continues to do his work. Thank you, Edgar.
Yeah, thanks for the follow, Edgar. Yeah, so like if it gives you any sense, the mission we're doing has 13 mission cards, and then there's also these like side quests. But the other scenarios have like 16 mission cards, 18, 13, 16, 24, and then also there's the map changes each scenario, so there's a lot of replayability to it. But yeah, so far, I mean, it's hard. I don't know what co-op isn't hard though. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not super great at co-op, so you are there, and I'm going to. Oh, I tore my ACL. That was one of my injuries, so I can't move as far. So I can only go 2. So here I go. 1, 2.
Oh, can you repair the?
No,
Oh
I
wait,
can't.
sorry.
No, actually, Andrew, you're the one who was telling me I couldn't talk, and you're the one talking so much. The function of this feature is to not.
Yeah.
No, actually,
I just got excited.
I was thinking about fixing it only if we don't need bioplastics. So we don't need to do a perimeter shield because our new thing right now is building a warning beacon. So I will fix it with this bioplastic. And I wouldn't have done it if you,
You wouldn't have.
or I would have done it if you, even if you did something. Okay, that's my turn.
That's been my turn.
Harvesting the mineral.
Mineral.
I can't believe that's the first and only mineral vein we've found. It's taken so long. And I'm gonna go here. For my next move, and I cannot.
Final move is I am going to harvest.
Is build an action?
Building is an action, but it's a free action and fix. So I can hand these to you since we're in the same spot.
And then I can build the warning beacon.
Yeah.
For the final thing.
Well, not the final thing. We still have to get off. All right. Do you want to read this one?
Yes. We built the warning beacon. Signal established. The Federation will not send repeat crew to this world. Rebuild your ship to leave safely. Warning. Beacon signals are disruptive to local alien life forms. Expect increased activity. Oh no. Oh my gosh.
So return home from the repaired ship. Roll both sets of spawn die and selection die. An additional time per round, spawning the appropriate creatures. Okay, go. We're gonna be spawning 4 creatures per round now.
And we have moved. So originally our objective was to build a power grid, an analytics lab, and a perimeter shield. But because a bunch of our buildings were getting destroyed, our employer contacted us and said, "It seems like this planet is inhospitable." So that's why we have changed objectives, and now we're doing that like warning beacon, and then trying to get at. But
How
so
are we gonna get fuel?
yeah, those creatures keep.
There's some creatures that consume fuel, and so every time fuel is coming out on the board.
Honestly, we just have to keep exploring, finding it, grab it, and then just go straight back.
Is there any way?
No, I don't think so. I didn't see that there. Fuel deposit move.
So we are on the same space now, so we can talk. There might be a building over there that also. Power grid controller converts 1 fuel into bioplastic, and it requires fuel though.
We need the fuel.
We need the fuel. Okay. That was our last action, right? Let's build that. So now I have my domesticated animal here. He's gonna drop his cube since we're here. There, and then we do kind of the whole thing with animals here. So going back to the oil eaters, that eat in cubes around. Nothing out there. They're defensive at the range of 3. 1, 2, 3, so they will attack anything that is threatening their territory. So move towards this guy asserting his dominance because he's the one who's just attacking everything in this area. The Vomo who just love to assert their dominance. It's just going from den to den, attacking things smaller than it. So this guy's from here. That's monkey. And meat. That's going to drop on the ground. These little turtle dudes, they're just defensive and they want to just eat. There is, so this guy is going to move towards the meat over there. Oh, actually, no, this is food, right?
Yeah.
So he's going to move over here. Eat
The plant.
the plant. And there's no more monkeys left right now. This guy is hungry, so he is going to eat this meat. And the Dominator over here is definitely going to attack the weaker creature. Turn him into meat. Now these guys. They are all territorial. They're all within each other's territory. So I think this guy is going to go here and attack him. Who is going to...
He dead.
No, he's still... But he's going to go here. He's going to attack this person with stampedes. Here. And
Yeah, unfortunately, these Imanis herbolacertas are gentle tree eaters, but when startled or scared, they will go into brief and violent rampages, trampling structures and smaller creatures.
oh, this guy. Oh, he attacked the small one. So he's gonna try to get out of here. He's gentle and he wants food. All right. So that is all the animals, and so we got to roll the spawn die twice. Get us there.
Oh,
hey! and then
Good.
roll one more time. All right, we spawned one wandering animal.
Which one is it going to be? 4. There's none.
There's none.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's turning around.
Yeah. Our luck is turning. So we built the warning signal.
And we're trying to get off this planet.
Oh, we both get hungry, but not lonely. Together.
In this game, for those who are not here at the beginning, you have a health track, you have a hunger track, and you have a loneliness track. And
Here
when you
is
are
your-
apart from each other, you get lonely.
So we need fuel, mineral, and bioplastic. Is this what is this?
You have bioplastic.
Okay, so all we need is fuel because my first action is going to be using the mineral deposit to.
So I think what we need to do, Andrew, is maybe explore and just hope that there's fuel somewhere.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna explore here, away from the other animals. So please be fuel. Nope. Minerals.
Oh, this one. Yep. Whoa, Board at Home is hosting us and raiding. Oh my gosh, we got a raid coming in. What up, raid? Board at Home, thank you. This is the raid idol. He comes out and greets everybody and says, "Thank you for the raid. I love raids and I love to party and thank you for raiding." Yeah,
This is
this is our analog alert here. Here.
This is
An actual artifact from Legends of the Temple, right?
hidden temple. Yes,
Yeah.
I did not.
I stutter over my words whenever I get raided because I get excited.
It-
Hi, raiders!
Hello. I did not compete as a child in the Legends of a Hidden Temple game show. This toy just appeared on my dorm doorstep one day. It's a really nice little toy. It's really heavy. I can't believe someone just gave it away, and I don't know who gave it to me. It's a mystery raid idol. It was destined to become a raid idol. Thank you for joining.
Legends DM said I had spam, eggs, and rice for dinner. Great place for a raid tonight. Yes, that sounds like an amazing meal. We just had spam, eggs, and rice a couple days ago for breakfast.
It is a very large meeple. It is.
Yeah. Yeah, this is our player piece. We're just gonna be moving around.
Yeah.
Here. Tonight, we're Board Game Spam. I'm Andrew,
I'm Pia.
and we stream every Monday and Thursday night after 8 p.m. because we have a baby and we try to put him to sleep in the 7 o'clock hour, but sometimes it takes a little longer. So we usually post the time. We usually get the stream running by 8, but post the time, specific start time on there. And then we play a lot of different types of games, mostly kind of thematic Euro games. It's kind of our focus, but anything from light games to heavy games is our jam. This is, of course, much more thematic. It's a cooperative game. It's called Far Away. A little indie studio by the name of Cherry Pick Games from Seattle, Washington, is made it on Kickstarter a while back. But it's a 2-player only exploration game and survival game. So think the survivor genre of video games, and the main conceit is there's like a proximity chat type of mechanic here, where if we are two little space people, if they are on different hexes, Pia and I cannot communicate about our strategy.
Andrew has been
Although
not good at this.
I've been bad at it. I've had to catch myself a few times. So, anyways, that's kind of the fun thing. So we can't consult over what we're planning on doing.
It prevents quarterbacking, which is one of the reasons why I have a hard time with most co-ops, because it's not even a hard time. It's just I end up like relaxing and not really engaging as much because everyone else is thinking way harder than I am. But there is a point where Andrew left.
Misty Mountain, we got a few followers here, and I just
Oh.
saw Misty Mountain was leaving, so we want to make sure that she gets her analog alert. This is Dr. Alan Grant from Jurassic Park, an actual toy from the 90s that I used to play with. He was just off the screen digging up a Velociraptor bones, and so he comes out and says, "Thank you for the follow, Misty Mountain Girl 87 and Goober Vancouver, maybe Goober VA, and Legends DM. Thank you all three for coming and hanging out with us." So,
The Moy says used to play with. Yeah. What
yeah,
people don't know is that
I
Andrew
just found a new way to play with him now. So thank you very much.
maybe, or Andrew just when we're not playing board games,
Yeah.
playing with this Jurassic Park figurine. But thank you for the follow.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. And then, sorry, you were explaining the game. I just wanted to catch your boots.
Oh no, absolutely, definitely want to thank you for stopping by. So the proximity chat is a fun mechanism. The game we're playing right now is very different because of the types of animals that are spawning. They all have different guidelines of how they move and how they like to interact with other animals and what they eat and what biomes they prefer. We are struggling, but we almost figured out. Basically, what happened in our story is that we were building things, the animals were trampling them. We have a lot of large animals in this planet. We told the Federation that we work for, Federation Alliance, that this place is inhospitable. And we built a beacon to warn fellow explorers not to come here. And then we're trying to build our spaceship and go and leave, basically.
And none of that had to happen. The objective, which we've kind of failed, but they gave us kind of a secondary objective because I think it mitigates some of the randomness. And so, yeah, we're putting the warning beacon, and we're probably going to get paid less at the end of the mission, or get a lower score, if we are even able to complete it. We are close, though, so we'll see.
Of course, board at home, and call me if I ever stream, I'm going to bust out some random old figures and have. Actually, I've been thinking about that. Like, there's all these different toys that we have that are like sitting out that have like funny memories attached to them, and it's kind of nice. It just like a lot of these things are like memories that they would be in a box and you wouldn't think about them, and then now we're using them weekly. So it's
Yeah. I wouldn't have described our house as having a lot of toys in it, other than board games, of course. But
We're
you were realizing we have a lot more than
we collect a
maybe
lot
the
of
average
figurines.
Legends DM. I was telling someone this morning I follow 81 board game streamers, and so we make 82.
We
Thank
make
you,
82.
Legends DM. 82 is 82, just the right number. I
I'm glad that you don't you want to follow more
Yeah.
and want to add us to the list.
Twitch board gaming is a great community so far. We've only been streaming for a little over a month, and it's just been so welcoming and inviting, and all the different raids and people that we've met. It's been really exciting. You don't stream, think about it. It's fun. It's fun
Yeah.
community. And if you just want to lurk and hang out and join in the chat, then that's also great too.
Yeah, it's been a fun excuse to play games. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you have a new baby, and you're trying out streaming." But if anything, it's just a good excuse to have some quality time and chat board games, which we don't get to do very much because of quarantining, and also just being new parents. We're kind of home a lot, so in general, whether or not we would be because of the pandemic or not, but yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining and chatting with us. It's so exciting.
Kumi says, I know. Hey, we're back.
Our internet has been struggling. We don't know.
Just
what.
today, for some reason, ever since there was a big snowstorm in the Northwest, and our internet went down for a few hours, and then ever since it's come back, we have
It's
it's
never.
done this a couple times, so we need to look into what's happened.
Yeah, it's a little. It's crazy because we've definitely done more taxing things on the internet, or like because we've had what is it called, extra life at our house. A bunch of people would bring their consoles over, so we'll have to look into it. So sorry, but thanks for sticking around as we attempt to find some fuel on this planet. But there's a creature that loves to wallow in the fuel and eat it, so I'm not really sure how we're gonna get the fuel we need.
Let's go, Caro, using the popcorn emote. Yeah, it just got approved. Yes, and Legends DM asked what state we were in. Washington State, so Northwest. We just got out of our snowstorm before the rest of the country is experiencing storms that move south. Well, John, I tired state. Thanks for listening. Yes, you
Tired
heard
state.
Extra Life, man. Yeah, man, props. Thank you, Inversil.
And thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Yeah. We've done Extra Life every year for I think 3 or 4 years. Moy, who's in the chat, he's been there since the beginning. And we typically all get together in the same room, set up a bunch of video games, and stream all day. And
You guys
this last year,
integrated board games.
we have integrated a little bit of board games. Last year, 2020, of course, we couldn't do that, and then we had our baby right in the middle of when it was happening. So we took a year off this year, but next year we'll be back, and it'll be the biggest one yet. I think, hopefully. Yes, the pop. Oh, it looks so good in the chat.
Oh,
Pop.
Andrew wanted me to try and draw it, and I was a little nervous because I'm not really. I like drawing. I don't know how to like integrate my drawing into computer stuff, so it's fun to see people use it. So how are we gonna find this fuel, Andrew? I guess. Oh, I searched here and I rolled, and then
It's another 2 mineral veins next to each other.
mineral veins. Well, what we need though is fuel.
Oh, but we're over there now. We can't talk.
Oh, okay. But we can talk to chat still, and chat is the voices in our head as before we go space mad. That's what we need. I'm not responding.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna move here, and we can talk. So
we just found runes. We actually, so this is the landscape that fuel usually spawns on. And then I rolled the exploration die, and we didn't find fuel. We found runes instead. But the runes, we can search the runes and gain any 2 resources. So we can find fuel, and then we'll be able to get out of here.
yes.
Maybe if we survive this round.
And Legends, we have streamed. Let's see. Well,
So we did a bonus stream yesterday of playing Trekking the World, which is a really light family game.
we are just trying out BGA for the first time and having a friend call in. So we were just like experimenting with that. And then we've done Gugong.
We've gone recently. What did we do?
Oh man, now I can't even remember.
Oh, Raiders of Scythia. That was the most recent one that we played. Which was super fun Renegade Games worker placement game. It's like a second edition of sorts to Raiders of the North Sea. Yeah,
And
Gugong. We did Cthulhu Death May Die. So we kind of go back and forth between highly thematic games, Euro games.
Usually, depending on my mood, Andrew's usually interested in any game.
Yeah. I'm very much an omni gamer, so I love most games. So I wouldn't be a good game reviewer because I just enjoy playing games with people.
Usually, we do physical games, and that was the first time we did an online game. Since one of the reasons we wanted to stream was just to start getting through some of our games that are on our shelf, not getting any love. So it's actually been really nice. It's been a good excuse to like, hey, this was on our list, but we just haven't made time. So now we're making time.
And the physicality of playing games is such a big part of what I enjoy about games, and you too.
Yeah.
And so
Like
I always,
most people.
yeah, for like most people, I think Shut Up and Sit Down describe board games as like a weird sort of alchemy, where the physical components, the relationships all mixed together to create this magic. So when you're doing it online, I don't mind playing games online because it's what we've had to do for the last year.
Yeah,
But,
you're actually pretty open to it because, and like Andrew said, he will play anything. You typically have a bigger appetite for games than most people. So in terms of everyone else, in terms of their endurance, it's like, I think I'm done, Andrew. And he's like, I'll play another game. So
Yeah.
virtual or physical board games were for it.
Legend Steven said he was thinking about playing Cthulhu Death May Die. Yeah, so many games, right? Cthulhu Death May Die was a lot of fun. I want to play it more. It's such a great looking game on the table, and then the way that the bosses work in it is super cool. They've got like multi-stage bosses, which I'm sure you know, but everyone else in the chat has multi-stage bosses. So you have to defeat stage 1 of the boss, and then its behavior changes, and it gets a full new bar of hell. You have to do that 3 or 4 times for each boss, which is just makes the fight feel so epic.
Very dramatic.
Very dramatic, yeah. Also, the more insane you go, typically in Cthulhu themed games, you go insane, and that's one of your health bars. But in this one, it's still one of your health bars. But the more insane you go, the stronger you get, and so you're like wanting to level up. And then, hey, Silver Metal Tavern's here. What up? Welcome to the stream.
We're talking Cthulhu Death May Die.
Yeah. while we're playing a game Far Away, which is a little indie game, co-op game, 2-player game.
We're playing Far Away.
And I see we got a new follow, Inverticil, Invader Sill. There we go. Sorry, I gotta slow down and read these things. Invader Sill, welcome. Thank you so much for the follow. We do analog alerts here, so this is Dr. Alan Grant. He comes from the land of Jurassic Park, and he was just over there, and he was, dusting off some bones. He was looking for Velociraptor bones specifically, and he's taking a break. Say thank you for the follow, and then he's going to go back over and continue his work. That is so important.
Silver Metal Tavern, cheers.
Cheers, Silver Metal Tavern.
We are drinking Starburst IPA in honor of this space-themed board game. But yes, I do like BGA for the light games. Invader Sill. I was checking them out, and I was like, oh, I think I can get into this for that weight of game. But yeah, we're just trying to get through. Currently, at least with our physical games, just because it's a good excuse since we're here. But it is. I think what I'm realizing is there is like the nature of 2-player games that we kind of wanted to start adding some other people in. So online games or virtual games are a good way to get into the higher player counts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like Andrew might want different type of competition than me, but
yeah, Silver Meadow asked if we like space games, and I do love space games. I love unique themes too, though. So this actually has a pretty unique take on a space theme. It's like space corporation, and you're just like a lowly employee that they don't really care about. They didn't even give you landing gear for your ship.
Yeah, so they didn't give you landing gear.
So you have to fix your ship when you're leaving.
They didn't give you radio, so that's why you cannot speak to your fellow player in this co-op game. And they don't give you any health,
no healing,
first aid kits.
We both been hurt once, so if one of us dies, we're gonna lose.
Yeah,
so
you got two
health total. So
those corporations, they exploit you and send you far, far away. It's a really fun game and really tongue in cheek. I've been enjoying it. And this is a game that's you like space games, I like space games, but specifically I think the exploration part of space games. Well, exploration is a really big thing for you for board games. So a lot of hex games for Andrew.
Yeah. I don't only like space games. So. Legend DMs, I need my physical pieces to play with, but recently playing Wingspan on Switch. The digital Wingspan game is really cool looking. I want to play it.
I think I saw.
Oh, we're getting raided for a third time tonight.
Oh, wow.
Let's try that. Thank you for the raid. Oh my gosh, the raid idol's coming out. You guys are all here ready for the epic conclusion of this game that we're playing, Far Away. Here's the raid idol. He comes out and says, "Hey, thanks for raiding. I really appreciate it, but I mostly just stand here." So he goes back to his spot over here. But thank you so much for the raid. That is awesome.
You. We typically stream Mondays and Thursdays at like around 8 after our baby goes to sleep. So that's why we're still up, hanging out, playing a game, trying to sneak in some fun. And even though we were getting whomped earlier, it's still
we're making a comeback. We are very close to possibly winning, which I thought we had no chance of winning.
Yeah,
we've had to change our objective once, so we're taking the lower road by just marking this as an inhospitable planet. And we're trying to escape at this point, but we'll see if we can do it.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say it to the chat, and maybe I won't say it now because I might be jinxing us. But I was just like, sorry, chat, you're just gonna see us die on this faraway planet. But we might have a chance. There were a lot of if you want to show actually everyone.
Oh yeah, let's show a couple of the cards. So one of the cool things about this game is that they have all these different animals that spawn out here, and it's actually 8 animals. At most 8 animals per game, so we've got this board over here that manages animals, but they all have different behaviors that interact.
There's lots of different types of animals.
They all have different animals that behaviors that interact with each other, which is super, super cool. And then let's get you a close up of these. So this is the guy that's been giving us all the trouble this game. It's Immanis Herbalacerta, and when it gets scared, it runs violently and damages buildings.
But it's
like
the
so
gentle tree eater.
generally speaking, it's fine. But we had like 8 of these things spawn underneath one of our buildings, or not 8. It was like 4 or 5 of them. And this little symbol means that they're loners. So if they're ever in the same hex as each other, then they're gonna freak out and try to hurt each other. And then so they just started stampeding all over the map, destroying all our buildings. And we've been having a heck of a time trying to manage them. So,
Yeah, but the game we played before, there were a lot of small creatures. They were a little aggressive, but they were small. And this map, there's a lot of big creatures that are omnivores that are giving us trouble. So we've been trying to avoid them because it's not really a game with a whole lot of fighting. It's probably
it's mostly running.
running and fleeing and like what is it? Dodging creatures.
Yeah. Ooh, let's try that. He just followed us.
Oh.
Thanks again for the raid, but we have another analog alert here. Dr. Alan Grant from Jurassic Park. He's been dusting off some dinosaurs over here, so he comes out and he says, "Thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it. Helps me get my work done better and faster." So he goes back over here to go keep working on his Jurassic Park dinosaur digging.
Yeah, Invader Sil. Tile exploration is definitely a favorite of ours, especially if there's like a narrative component, because then we have all the story of how we were going around to the north part of the map looking for minerals and we couldn't find any, so we wrapped around here. It's just fun, kind of fun storytelling kind of tool.
Silver Meadow Tavern asked if we've played Leaving Earth. You might want to write that one down, but
No.
sounds cool. Said it's a little mathy, but it's very cool. Definitely want to look that one up.
I'm not a big math person, but Andrew is son of a math teacher.
Son of a math teacher.
I'll write that down for sure, though.
So let's try that. Ask if this is like Pandemic Evolution. Not as much like Pandemic as for being a co-op. There's no... The way things cascade is a lot more organic than Pandemic, and as a player, you're kind of making some of the decisions. The rules are like, if it's bad for you and it's dramatic, then it's probably the right thing to do. But when the different behaviors interact. So it's a little bit less tight in that way. So if you want your co-op games to have really, really tight rules that are super, super clear all the time, this is probably not it. But they specifically have been saying in the rule book, like, make the most interesting decision as to what would happen when a certain animal is in a certain situation. So, yeah, tons of cardboard. I see this at my local game store. Do you think I could play it solo or 2 characters? The box says solo. I don't know. I'm sure if you enjoy solo games, it seems like it would be a good one. You are kind of role-playing the animals as to what they would do, so you kind of have to know yourself whether or not you would be challenging yourself or if you'd be easier on yourself. I think with 2 players, it's easier to come to an agreement on that, but if that would be something that like is hard to make a decision about, which I think if I played this solo, I would have a hard time doing that part just by myself. But that would be my only intention for a solo game. And give us your best Dr. Alan Grant impression.
Oh yeah.
Oh, here we
Where's
go, yeah.
the Sam Neill accent?
Yeah,
It's deep
yeah.
inside. It's hidden. It's
So-
not ready to.
My favorite quote from, not my favorite quote from Jurassic Park, but the best quote. So it starts with Ellie, the little girl. She says, "I love this. You love this." And then Sam Neill says, "But that's not what I'm going to do." And that's not a good Sam Neill accent because I can't really do an Australian accent. So
Andrew just
I'm just doing
saying
the
his
line.
favorite
Yeah,
line.
I'm just saying my favorite line.
So where is it? That's where it was.
Yeah.
It needs some work. I mean, if you're gonna be,
You know, if we're gonna be using him as our thing, I probably should work on my same.
um, the
Ooh, Legends DM said he recently played This War Mine, which was awesome, but an intense story. I've seen that around, and I think it's Awakened Realms, right? Yeah, it does seem super intense. Is it based off a video game, or is the video game based off the board game? Or is it just a board game? I thought it was both. Let me know.
someone had said in chat earlier that they were getting a lot of like survival game vibes, like video game vibes. And I like to play the game Don't Starve. I'm bad at it. I'm really scared of it, but I like the game. So I feel like that's what it is. Like a lot of creatures and biomes, and like they're popping up, and they like to stay in certain areas and interact with different creatures. So, but yeah. Do you-
Edgar Hino says video game to board game. Yeah, that's what I was
Mhm.
thinking. But yeah, that's one I would like to try out. I don't know if I would get it to the table enough to own it, but because I heard it's a longer co-op game, which I know I have a few of, and they're hard enough to get to the table for myself.
Do you remember whose turn it was?
um,
We're not used to so many raids, so we're just
no, so we
so- pumped.
didn't we both have one action left, or you're on 3 and I'm on 2?
I think I'm in the middle. I'm doing
Oh,
my
okay.
action, or maybe it's you go first.
So I'm gonna, yeah, I go before
Destroy.
you moved in here, and that allowed us to talk. I'm gonna destroy the runes, and I'm going to get a fuel. And is there any resource that we might need for our second resource? I can get 2 fuel. Well, no, we don't want the fuel. That'll cause these guys to come stomping over.
What do we need exactly?
A fuel, a bioplastic, and a mineral. Which I have those.
All
3.
of them?
We just need to get them to the crash site.
This is one of the things to note is that this isn't a very colorblind friendly game. So
Yeah, if you're colorblind like I am, the cubes are a little confusing. Even with the bright light on them, like I have, some of them are hard to tell apart.
I think it's because they're sort of clear. So in terms of the light, it's a little.
Everything else about the game, like if you could get something to substitute the cubes, although the cubes look really cool, they look like little jellies, but so I don't know. As long as Pia's here, I can figure out which one is which. We get a second cube, so
but the cube gets on the ground.
it'll be on the ground. You
But I can pick it up. Yeah.
Anything you need.
Oh. Oh, I was gonna say we should use a fuel and then like
The
transport.
fuel. Yeah, grab a fuel.
Okay.
Another fuel.
You can apparently eat fuel and it can
Okay.
cause you to like not transport, but were you like, what is it? Like an X-Men Nightcrawler like jumps. What is that word? I can't remember that. It's not transport. Do you know what word I'm talking about?
Teleport.
Teleport. Oh my gosh.
So it's your turn.
I'm gonna pick up this
Free.
for free, and then consuming it is free, right? So I'm gonna consume it and go straight to the crash site. Okay, no, I fixed it the other day meeting when I passed by. Okay.
All right. So that's the
Teleport.
three
Yeah.
actions. Yeah, it's
It made her
teleport.
feel. Thank you. That took way too long. We usually don't play games that are this long at this time, but we've been talking.
We've been chatting a lot. I wouldn't say the games anymore.
No, but I think part of it too is there's a role playing element to it, which we like. We like RPGs. We like RPGs as video games. We like RPGs as like tabletop RPGs. So I think we expand that part of the game more than other people. We were playing Bandada the other day, and we were definitely we were creating a theme when it's mostly like this really good puzzly game. So that's on us, making it longer than
Yeah.
it needs to be.
Yeah,
But that's the fun for
it was
us.
a 10-minute game that we stretched to like 25 minutes. Legends DM said my character started the day. Oh, this is in that's where My character started the day with a harsh winter in this war mine, so I had them make a heater. Then on day 2, a game shelling came in and destroyed my just built heater.
Legends!
Brutal.
That is exactly what happened earlier with my landing pad. I built this landing pad, and then these Immanis Herbal Acertas came and trampled all over. This is where all these like damage tokens are on it. And I was like, this planet is inhospitable. Okay.
Yeah, we played Call It 2 Adventure once a while back. I'd like to play it again. We have the Stormlight Archive version of it, which we love that book series.
Yeah. Has anyone read that book series?
So we're actually going through
Brian Sanderson? Brandon Sanderson? Not Brian.
Um,
Brian, Brandon Sanderson's brother.
I am going to. Okay, so these oil guys, are they defensive?
They're
are.
defensive, yeah.
All right, so this is what I'm going to do here. I've domesticated this animal over here.
He's roaming the planet.
He's roaming the planet. So he's going to go over here, and I'm going to clear the way before we get there, so he doesn't attack. So these guys don't attack you, Pia, because you're there. He's going to
Thank
attack
you.
them, and then they will have to fight back. So he's
Ooh.
attacking one of them to call their attention.
I don't know if that's how domestication works, where you
You
send
have
them.
complete control over them immediately. That's how domestication works in this game. And then, all right, so we're gonna start with the oil guys. So they are defensive, so they've been attacked, and
they're pissed.
They're pissed, so they're gonna attack back. Actually, there's a bunch. There's 3 of them, so they're each gonna attack back, killing. Killing my hippo guy. Oh
Dang
no, he died protecting us.
You sent him into danger the same way you sent your crew members in Raiders of Scythia with no remorse. Just you are gonna be the shield.
The thing is, you were there, so they would. All 3 of those guys were going to attack you.
That's
So
It's okay.
I needed to create a diversion. It's
fair.
like when the T-Rex comes in at Jurassic Park and saves them from the Velociraptors. Just like that. Except it was a hippopotamus saving you from oil-bearing creatures. Okay, the Vomo, this guy's been a little disappointing. He's not done a whole lot. He's just walked around killing monkeys. He's going to run away from this guy. And try to go back to his den, because his den is under attack. This is the cute little turtle guy without a shell. And they are also defensive, so he is going to go back to his den. And he's going to attack this hippo, causing him to stampede into our landing
Oh, my
pad.
landing pad.
And finally destroying the landing pad completely.
My
Even with our
landing
extra
pad,
defenses.
just like Legends' heater, is destroyed. Oh, it hurts. I worked really hard collecting the
Yeah,
resources to get that.
And now we're going on to the monkeys. They are extinct currently. Then there's these burrowers.
Man, I feel bad. This was probably a very nice planet. We came and messed
We've
them
really
up.
been messing with things. What do these guys want? They want to attack buildings and go towards the warm areas, and their home biome is sand. So we're just gonna go into the sand, and but they're meat eaters, so we would first come over and chop up these meats that was created by my hippo. We're gonna create a feeding frenzy over here. These dominant guys, he's gonna move towards the meat because he's a leader. And then all of the hippos are gonna move. So this guy,
Bye, Bones John.
let's try to get away from that one. Oh, Bones John, bye. Thanks for joining us.
Yes. Always love when you
Yes,
stop by.
Thank you. It's always great having you in the chat.
Yes, landing pad and heater destroyed.
Oh,
That's why we can't have nice things.
okay. So the hippos all kind of move around, but trying to get away from each other. That's their general thing right now. And then that's all the animals. So we went through the animals. We
Let's
both
get
gain a
outta here.
loneliness
Oh,
and
yeah.
a
No, we're not lonely. Oh wait,
yeah,
we are lonely.
and a hunger.
Lonely
And then we rolled the spawn dice twice. So give us your best roll, Pia.
Okay, please be blanks because there's too many creatures out here. Or maybe there's just enough, but we are not handling them. Ooh, dead creatures.
Oh, 2 den creatures. Okay, roll for the first one. So which one would you like to spawn?
Yeah.
Monkey up
They're
there.
not extinct. They came out from the
Second
den.
one. Oh,
Monkey again.
monkey again.
Lemur, actually.
Lemurs, yeah. All right. We're going, and I am going to move one.
All right. Here we go.
We can't talk about what we're doing. It's around the same things.
Ooh, I'm gonna. Oh wait, sorry.
You can eat that. Oh no, sorry.
It's
It's so hard not to say things. It's so hard. I'm just gonna read chat over here while you do
Andrew,
your turn.
I'm gonna grab a meat
Um,
and I'm going to eat the meat.
go around the table
Raw.
telling our story of end of call. I want to.
Okay,
name of
I'm
the
done
wind
with my turn.
expansion.
There you go.
Yes.
Go ahead. Name of the wind. Yes.
Name of the wind. Book. Enjoyed playing the board game, The Reckoners, but the story is for games. The story is for Brandon. I haven't read The Reckoners, but I've heard the board game is pretty good. Invader Sil, Legend GM says Invader Sil. There's a lot of card swapping. The Name of the Wind expansion does seem pretty cool. I mean, do they combine? Well, I guess we don't want to. I like that they take the book themes and add them. I think that's a cool idea. Bones John just signed out. Landing pad can be destroyed. Invader Seal. That's interesting. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've caught up.
Andrew's
You took your turn? You took your
Andrew's
turn? I need to
distracting
distract
himself.
myself before I give advice. All right, I'm doing my turn. Hey, we're in the same space. We can talk. There's also a bunch of animals here, but they're eating this meat. That was my second action. Do you want all these things?
Yeah. I'm gonna take all the materials and I'm going to build, or I'm gonna fix
Repair.
our
Cool.
shuttle.
There's so much stuff in this hex.
Yeah, it is a mess.
We've repaired the ship, so we can, for free, return home.
Yes. Okay.
Requires 2 explorers.
Okay. Return. So here's the return home from the repaired ship. Okay. Special instructions. I know, I'm just double checking to make sure that there's nothing else there. Incoming transmission. Thank you for marking this hostile world and protecting future crews. However, the contract was not completed as promised. No! You will be charged a portion of the mission cost as a penalty. Big corporations.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm interrupting this transmission. You will be charged a portion of the mission cost as a penalty. Please work off this debt by succeeding in future missions.
Wah, wah.
Contingency 1C complete, but end of mission 1 failure.
Which, I mean, I
We're
was
getting a
expecting
C.
something,
We're
yeah.
getting a C or a...
We're going to see out of, it's not an F. Yeah.
It's not an F. It's 50% of our paycheck, probably. But that is, you know what? I was surprised. I thought we were going to lose our lives out there. Which in the rules, in the rules, like manual, they definitely said like player injury is what is it? The company is not liable for player injuries or whatnot.
Yeah. There's a question if there's a campaign. There's technically not a campaign, but you can link missions in certain ways. I think you can get money for missions, which allow you to buy things, but you don't have to do any of the missions in any order. None of them necessarily connect on a story level. So The next game, I guess we have a debt now.
We have a debt to pay.
So I don't really know how that part of it works. So I have to kind of look that up. But I think we might be able to buy artifacts or something. We didn't find any artifacts at the time, so I wonder how that if Mr. Rule here. But yeah, there's 8 different scenarios, and I would replay this scenario possibly the next time because obviously we failed the main objective, but it would be, I think, significantly different the second time because the
Because
hippos.
the hippos were wrecking us.
The peaceful hippos.
Yeah, it wasn't their fault actually. It was just they were getting scared and
Legend DM, do you guys own more than 100 board games? My favorite game mechanics are deck building, worker placement, drafting, co-ops. We do own more than 100 board games. We have an entire closet full of games. Maybe double that.
Yeah, Andrew loves that's the part too. He loves the collecting part of it. I don't know if anyone in chat enjoys reading rule books, but Andrew does. He like gets a new game and then like he snuggles up on the couch and starts reading. I think it's because part of it is too is like you're imagining the social interactions and all the fun you will be having and all the friends you will be trying to get to play this game. And
Kumi says no hyperbole here, but I think this is the fastest I've gone from this game exists to I need to get this. It's seriously ticking so many boxes for me. Yeah, it's even the dry sci-fi.
yes,
It's I could see this not being for everyone. I know there's people who want really, really clear, concise rules around how the enemy AI works, but I kind of like the looser, kind of more organic rule set, especially with 2 players. It creates some of the narratives you guys were seeing happening were just happening because they were a more interesting choice of the 2 different behaviors I might see the animal doing. And so,
we like Planet Earth too, so we've seen some animals interact. It's
and honestly, like when I play even like open world video games like Assassin's Creed, I always like go and watch the animals for a while just to see how they programmed the AI. And I'm always disappointed because they're usually really simple, like, oh, they're gonna eat here, and then they like run away if you get close. I'm always looking for more behaviors.
well, that's why Don't Starve is so fun because like in that game, well, I just like the art. It's like creepy, like thick line, like animation and illustration. But like if you're not familiar with it, it's like a survival game. But like if you pull all the flowers out of one biome, then all the bees die, and if the bees die, then all the butterflies die and then all the bees die and then you can't gather the honey, but there's like these ways that it interacts. And so in this game it really was interesting that we could not have we didn't have any fuel this game, so I was really nervous about the final objective requiring fuel because there's these animals that were eating the fuel, so it's like that type of stuff that's super interesting.
And then we have Invader Sill saying Kumi, and I'm punching out a game currently as I need one, as if I need one so soon. Yeah, I've been there.
Invader Cell, that is a very relatable statement. I feel like Andrew punching out game pieces and like looking online at other games is always like it definitely happens in this household.
And usually I'm looking at Kickstarters when I'm punching. Oh, we'll come just. Anyways, Invader Seal says Overboss. Actually, I don't know what that. This one has a ton of things to punch out in it as well. It's a pretty heavy box. As all the different creatures, there's just. I think you showed the box.
I'll show again.
A whole bunch of them.
Oh, Hoppy Meeple, you are also a rule book reading enthusiast. Yeah, so these are all the different creatures that all have different ways they interact with each other. But the thing that was nice, because I got super overwhelmed when Andrew showed it to me, was that each scenario only has a possible 8, which in our last game, only I think 3 came out when we were exploring, but here almost all of them came out. So it's just kind of, it's
all
interesting.
8 slots, yeah.
All 8 slots, yeah. But it's not like you have to...
But there's a whole bunch in the box.
Mm-hmm.
Edgar and Poe 87 is asking anyone to play On Mars or Beyond the Sun. We have Beyond the Sun. I was lucky enough to get it while it was still in stock, but I haven't played on Mars, and we are just dipping our toes into Vitola Servo games. We haven't played any yet, but I got the Kanban starter in the mail just a little while ago, which also I got Escape Plan. So those are the two that we are going to try out at some point. Maybe not on the stream until we've played it and know we like it, because I know how intense it can be.
If we streamed it, it would be
No one would want to watch us learn that.
No, it would be just me. It'd be my brain just breaking. It'd be like Pia glitching out and just be like staring, and there would be no words coming out of my mouth.
Kumi says, Andrew, I feel ya. Rulebooks, punching out components. I've had games I've literally enjoyed more opening boring than actually getting them to the table. Believe you. Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. Kumi says, Don't Starve is a mood. So good. Amoy, we just bought it. Looking forward to trying it. Yay,
Oh, I can't
dude.
wait to
Yeah.
hear what happens in your game.
Yeah. This is also cool. It's just a small indie publisher house from Seattle, so local to us.
Local economy,
Yeah.
local to us economy. Yeah.
Legends DM, one of my favorite co-ops is Salvation Road, where you need resources and end game. You use the resources to go down a road to get a place called to get to a place called Salvation. They never make it. Yeah, that sounds fun. I like resource gathering, the tension of that.
I really like resource gathering. I think in games where you have to be really efficient, I am not, just because I want to hoard all the stuff. And I don't know what I'm working towards. I just want all the resources, all the money. But
Silvermare Tavern says that was like me for Feast of Odin. Yes, Pia has mentioned your stream of learning Feast of Odin for Odin a couple of times, and how funny it was, and the confidence it's given her. She's like, you know, we can just learn a game on stream. Like, it's okay. People were supportive, and they were like, and it was actually like entertaining and funny. So,
I think what it is that for a while board games has been Andrew's hobby, and then like if there's something interesting, he like finds games that he thinks I will be interested in, and ever since we started streaming, it's been like I think I've been taking more ownership of my the hobby, or like my interest in it. And I think for me, what the missing part of it was like Andrew would look up reviews, and there was so many steps into seeing what a game looks like. And then on street, like with streaming, I just see like Civil Metal Tavern is like streaming Feast for Odin, and I've heard this before. I can just click it, and then I can immediately see it, and the intimidation factor goes away. Because I think a lot of times on like YouTube, there's so much like the tutorial just makes it feel like I don't have the patience, or I'm like just too intimidated by it. So that might have been that was one of the reasons why I was hyped about that Feast for Odin stream.
yeah. Also, I know a lot of you guys came from Silver Metal Tavern's stream, but if you don't follow him, definitely go give him a follow. He's got a very entertaining stream, and it overlaps with ours, so we don't always get to watch it, but definitely enjoy it.
Yeah, the late night streams.
Us late nighters. So I am thinking of rating someone. It looks like there's only 4 or 5 board game ones going on right now. There's one that looks like it's about to start, but they're playing Fallout Shelter. The other ones are
yeah. Anyone got a suggestion?
some CCGs. But do you guys? Is there any suggestions from the crowd that you know a streamer who would like to be rated?
We're
We always
newer,
like
so
taking suggestions.
and we're newer, so we don't know as many people that would be a good. You guys played Space Base during had the stream.
Oh, you did? Yes. That is always our dream. Is that people are able to play a game and have us on in the background.
Let us be your background noise.
Time Roller is